Why?
Are you allowed to have lots of wives?
Yeah, of course he
Buddy,
is.
4.
4 wives.
4?
Yeah,
Four,
but they
my
have to
man.
be brown though.
No, they don't.
Oh, really? You can have white wives?
They can be as long as they're either Christian or Jewish or Muslim.
Really?
Really?
How about Scientology though?
No.
They actually say Jew or Christian?
Yeah, it has to be one of the 3 monolithic religions.
Wow.
Oh,
way to
that
keep-
came from the original
Came from-
people,
yes,
or whatever.
yes. Came from Jesus.
And everything else is
No,
new.
not Jesus.
Oh,
No.
didn't Jesus start it all?
Abraham.
Abraham, that
beforehand.
cocksucker. Am I right?
Abraham, he started both the Arab and Jewish race.
Jew?
Wasn't it was one was then there was Ishmael
Ishmael
and
and Isaac.
right?
Yes.
Ishmael
Isaac-
killed a whale.
Isaac
didn't he?
started the Jewish race, and Ishmael started the Arab race.
Right.
Yeah, he's a whale guy, right? Ishmael,
No,
isn't he?
no, that's
Moby Dick.
no, it's
Oh.
not. Well, yeah, in the
Yeah,
book,
yeah,
yes, in the
yeah.
book, yeah.
See, I read books.
But there is
He reads
a
one.
but in the but in the Quran we do have there is a prophet who got swallowed by a whale.
Yeah.
Fucking loser got swallowed by a whale.
Yeah, wasn't it
Yeah,
Jonah?
a white
Is that laughter tracks?
A fat
Whose
girl went
laugh
down
is
on
it?
him.
Jonah, right?
Yes.
Jonah. He's in the Bible too, right?
He got swallowed by a whale, and then
Yeah.
his miracle is that he survived after that.
The
And then
whale.
after a fat
Sorry.
girl
Yeah.
was down.
Yeah, AJ's mom. Yeah.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
not nice. I didn't know we were talking about moms now.
My mom's pretty.
No, she's not.
She's really pretty.
I
my
mean,
mom.
look at you.
That's
There's
true.
no way.
I look like my dad.
What did you do with your daughter?
What did you do with it?
I mean, your wife said she didn't want any special needs here, so
Yeah, I know, but what did you do with her? She's not
I
just in
put
the
her.
car,
I put her
is
in a
she?
cage. I put her in a cage.
No. Is someone really looking like what'd you have to
No,
do?
my son actually was
is a-
super nice. My son was really nice and said he was good to watch her. He's good. He started early. He delivers flyers.
What a great
Oh, yeah.
kid, huh?
Yeah, he's a good kid. Because originally I was like, oh, it's Thursday. This is when you work, so I'll take her with me.
Oh yeah.
So then he's like, okay. And then today, out of nowhere, he goes, Dad, I'll just watch her. It doesn't make sense you're taking her to a podcast. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Oh wow.
This is after 2 days.
What a kid, huh?
This is
Yeah.
2 days of me yelling at him, telling him I'm gonna smash his head through his TV and stuff, and he's a pig and stuff. And
Really?
yeah, 2 days. Yesterday, he didn't even
That was
talk to
just
me.
he just loves saying that.
Yeah,
No
and then,
reason.
And then yeah, I just like walking.
What's your reaction? Did your kid do something to deserve that, or is that
Yeah, he never listens. His
Oh,
room
yeah.
was disgusting. There was like 3 plates and cans of iced tea everywhere on his bed.
just? I'm going through the exact same
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
with my kids. Yeah.
So you just tell him you're gonna fucking hurt him.
Like
That's
I
what you say.
understand
I can't
eating.
do that.
I understand eating in your room.
You can
but
hit
just like
females.
No, I can't.
I understand eating in your room, but eating on your bed is
Yeah,
it's not
no.
even comfortable.
No,
My teenage daughter today. This is no shit.
yeah.
She just finished taking a bath.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to the bathroom after
Yeah.
she got out of the bath. There's a bowl of salad.
Oh my
It-
god!
She was eating in the bath.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fuck?
dude, kids are. If we don't tell them what to do, they're animals.
I never
Yeah.
really understood that.
They're so stupid.
Yeah, they're so
Yeah.
stupid,
Oh, fuck.
dude. They're
I
the
don't
dumbest
think
thing ever.
I don't think they're stupid. I just think they
No, they're stupid.
I don't think no. I just think they don't give a shit. They just don't care.
Definitely only care about themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
don't care. They're selfish. I don't
It's-
think they're stupid. They
Yeah, but
just they know what they're doing. It's just that they don't give a shit.
What's humanity? You do whatever you can get away with.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
that's why he's never afraid of my wife. My wife yells at him, and then she calls me while I'm out today and go, "Don't you think it's a little harsh that now he's not allowed to eat in his room?" I'm like, "Is it a little harsh?" It was like 3 days in a row yelling. You think I want to yell at him? I love that fucking kid. Like, that's my best. I love that fucking kid. And the only time I see him now is when I yell at him. You think I want to do that? It's not too harsh at all. And she's like, "Oh, okay. I just think it's a little too harsh."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I think you're stupid.
Like, bitch, you gotta fucking, you keep quiet while I give
Yeah.
her orders. You know what I
I
mean?
gotta tell you though.
Woman, be quiet, woman.
You want your head to that
Woman.
Yeah,
I'll put you in the cage with the other one.
I can't show any emotion either. Not
You
the
can
same.
though. You have all women. You
What do you mean you show no emotion?
No, but I can't be angry. I
Why?
can't be angry.
Why?
so you're neutered then.
Basically, yeah, but because
Too much fucking estrogen.
my wife's
Yeah,
family
so-
was such a way that they didn't express themselves the same way my family did,
Mhm.
right? My family's a bunch of animals. We
Yeah.
were like we would like fight fight each other, but then forgive each other right away. You know.
Yeah, so I mean, he was nice to me, so he forgave me right away. My son.
Yeah, it's
So-
very European. You know.
Yeah, because he knows I love him, but
But
I-
your kid is also like generally just a nice
yeah,
kid.
but it's not. It's part natural, but it's also part always on top of him. Because you know him.
Yeah,
see him
but
a lot, so you know
I've
how he is.
seen him. He's just his nature is just a very kind kid.
Yeah.
That's just who he is by nature.
Yeah,
but also you can't just be strong-handed without the love part.
I
of
am
it too.
very. Am I not?
Yeah,
loving?
he is.
right,
Yeah,
and that's
he
what I
is.
mean. That's
Yeah.
why you can get away with
Mhm.
probably that stuff because you show
You
both
make up
sides
for
of
it.
It's
right?
not the only thing.
But
That's-
you're saying that you're not. If you were to yell at your daughters, you
Mhm.
have a hard time coming up to them afterwards and kind of.
No, that's not it at all. In my case, it's the fact that I'm my wife, because she didn't grow up that way, she doesn't have tolerance for any sort of that
Yelling.
sort of.
It's all like
No, they're passive aggressive. They like to hold grudges for years, never resolve
Yeah.
anything.
So if you were to yell at your daughter, your wife wouldn't be okay with that.
No, she wouldn't be
This
cool
is-
with it in the least. It would be seen as me being like a complete lunatic because in her upbringing, if anyone in her family was to behave like I would be, they would be losing their shit. They would be at like level stage, like code red. You know, you're at the very end of
Like
it.
there's something happening.
Yeah. Where in my family, that's just how
For
we come out of
anything,
the
that's
gate.
how you communicate, yeah.
That's just how we.
0 to 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is her approach then to like disciplining your kids?
Yeah. That's
yeah,
a-
no, I feel it. I feel.
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel
not-
100% where you're going.
Well, luckily,
like,
I don't have a huge.
They're good girls.
Like
probably,
my
too.
kids are pretty good. I haven't had much need to
Mhm.
discipline them. Generally, when there's a need for discipline with my kids, to be honest with you, other than like the sloppy stuff and the messes and that, which I've just been beaten down. Like I can't get through. Like I
Mhm.
don't know.
I don't let myself.
And
do
I
that.
see my wife get frustrated the same way as I do.
That's the thing. They're mad. They're frustrated, but they just let it happen.
Yeah, but she doesn't perceive her own anger, right? But she perceives mine. You know,
She doesn't
like,
acknowledge.
Okay,
Like-
but
like-
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
like she would lose it, but it would be okay because she'd know why she lost it or whatever,
But
and she'd know what her intent was.
But what I'm saying is that have you ever like sat her down and just be like, look,
No.
Right away, the
I-
other
I-
white guy
I
goes.
sound,
No.
I sound like a person
No,
that's not
sa-
married. Clearly,
Sat her
but
down
or
and did
Canadian.
what?
but what I'm saying is like, have
You
you
ever
ever like
sat your
ever
wife
sat
down?
her down and just be like, hey, listen, this is both of us. This is fucking annoying to both of us. We got to do something.
No, we do have to. We do deal with
Like
issues.
you know what I mean? Like let's
Yeah.
be a team on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it has to be. And the
Yeah.
team, the way that usually works is like saying like I'm trying to do it my way, she's trying to do it her way, and eventually
You
we
meet in the
both
middle.
don't like each other's ways.
course
and
not.
then we have to figure out a way to do
Yeah.
it together.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do, and what we've done. Most of the time, especially on something big, like when something real bad happens, your kid does something real bad.
Well, you
Then
come in here and there's a boy up there in a room with a closed door. Fuck the door. Fuck the kid. Like fuck that shit.
I'm not fucking any kid.
No, I mean like
I
fuck.
don't know.
I mean, no, see, that's
he's
what-
just
see,
like
you've been neutered.
everything's an extreme with Joe.
you
Like
should have anger.
he goes to like American Beauty scene, like where the guy's fucking
Oh,
a girl.
oh god.
Like, it
I saw
doesn't,
that
doesn't
boy.
have to be that extreme, but I'm just saying like
closed door. Closed door.
yeah, but
And
he's
my
talking,
daughter's behind the closed.
he's-
How
door?
old? How old's your daughter at the time?
My daughter's 14.
No, at the time, what?
This never happened. My daughter's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like say 18. Like, is it-
18 still. It's like don't like you should like
Should be in a parked car
yeah.
somewhere.
You should be in part. You're not fucking
that's
with
what
me
I
in the
mean.
house.
Like
That's
if
gross.
you want to do something, just do it the old-fashioned way and just like not in my house. Can you
sneaky.
just like
don't
fucking
even
just be
masturbate when
sneak-
I'm around. That's gross.
Well,
Keep
I
it-
mean, you can't control that much.
well,
but
stay in your room.
yeah, but as long as I don't know about it, I guess
Your
is
son
my.
just walked through the house tugging it or something?
Yeah,
Right.
my
Yeah,
son-
I know,
I'll go
it's
in the
just like-
basement looking
It's
for
got
something.
hoses everywhere laid down.
I'm like, what's all this Kleenex? And then he's like in the corner just
No,
jerking.
no.
I can't get
oh
alone.
My God. Oh my God.
I can't get alone.
There's people here.
And then Joe joins in like, I know, me too, buddy.
see that pile? That's mine.
Oh my God.
No, I'm like, I would
Stick to
be,
that corner of the room.
I'd be furious. 13. I keep telling young parents, like new parents and young parents, I'm like, learn to love your kids crying. There's two types. Like there's like
learn to be okay with it. I
no,
guess.
but there's the crying like when like I had to go to the hospital with Riley and hold her for like an X-ray or a shot, a shot or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Don't get used to that cry because it's terrible. They're in pain. But the cry where you go, shut up, get out of here, and they start crying. Love that cry. That's my favorite cry. I love hearing that cry.
You're kind of getting even with them a little
It's
bit.
not even. It's like they're crying. Like that's a good cry for them to have. That's like
To
they're
learn.
learning a lesson. But like the cry where they're like bang their foot or like
I guess, and
that's a cry. I'm like
kinda,
I hurt.
So,
My heart hurts.
Are
when
you
I-
saying be comfortable with disciplining them?
Yeah.
I think that's what
Thank
I
you.
think that's what he means. I think that's what he
Yeah.
means, so that you can allow yourself to discipline them properly. You kind of have to be detached from seeing your
Because
kid
you
cry.
see crying, yeah.
Because like it's the same thing with like if you're a doctor, you shouldn't be treating like a family member or something like that, because you
right.
won't be as properly aggressive with them as you would, because you're feeling.
You're too emotionally involved.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's kind of like the same thing with disciplining your kids. Like you just kind of have to be like, oh no, oh my god, I can't stand seeing them cry. Like no, you have to be like,
Yeah.
this is good for them.
They're gonna be
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah, and you can't be their buddy at times. you
No,
know,
that's
yeah.
it. I hate parents like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
friends with my. Shut up. No, you're not.
I
No, you're
want
not.
to, but it's like it's hard.
No,
'cause
you're
you don't
not. You
want them-
can't be.
I know.
You just
'cause-
because they don't want you to be their friend.
Mhm.
I know-
Though there's time for that when they're older, like when they're adults.
Yeah,
Are you a parent?
Yeah, 15-year-old.
Oh.
One of the worst I think is when you see people like at the grocery store when they're smaller,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, you were good today. Here's something."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, you're rewarding normal behavior." That's
Yeah.
kind of fucking
Annoying.
stupid, right? Like,
Yeah, it's like you're
Oh.
encouraging them to like just.
just be a normal kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know-
you woke up on time to go to school. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The one thing about parenting is that 100% of us get it wrong. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's the thing.
And
We
it doesn't
know-
matter how many kids you have. You have 13 kids. It's all 13. You fucked up somewhere.
Yeah.
Like it's something, because you don't know what's coming up for a million situations.
Yeah,
happen.
my parents always say they had 4 kids. They raised us all the same, but
Mm.
we're all completely
Mhm.
different from one another.
They didn't raise you the same. Though.
No,
You
they
know
did. They
didn't.
did. They definitely. From my own experience being the oldest, I've noticed how my parents are with my other siblings. It's completely different.
Oh,
Well, they
so-
have
You
a
just
favorite.
mellow as you get older.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
well, especially like my mom was 22 when she had me, and my dad was 27, and they both like moved to England because my dad wanted to get his master's and PhD. So my mom, and also my mom, a year before I was born, her mom passed away. So she really didn't have somebody
back up. Yeah.
back up to show her how to be a parent on her own in a different continent, in a different country, on her own. Like her husband's like always at the university studying and shit like that. She's stuck with a 1-year-old.
Surrounded by Christians,
And
the
surrounded
enemy.
by Jews and Christians,
well-
like just horrible. So for her, like she would just like yell at me all the time. I remember it as a kid. She was just always yelling at me for like, and even if I do like the smallest things, she would just yell at me, and I hated her for that for a while, especially as a kid. But as I grew older, I'm like, yeah, dude, like you can't really blame her. Like
Yeah.
I would have probably left me then, you know.
Yeah. I think
It's
too.
hard, man. It's really fucking hard.
Well, that's why the thing is to like not get used to hitting your kid, because it's so easy because you're so angry.
Yeah.
So that's an easy.
Oh, I
no, it's
always
true.
had
Don't.
that. I always had that
Young
because my
parents
mom,
do it
because
right
my
away.
yeah, because my mom just she didn't know any better. Like especially my youngest brother, she never really hit him as much because by the time she had him, obviously she had enough experience, right? So she knew to let certain things go.
Other tricks, yeah.
Yeah, and even my mom, like, even especially the last 2 years, she would always tell me how much she regretted some of the things that she did to me when I was a kid, which is like, I guess it's like kind of sweet, but it's like, it's okay.
I'm sorry I introduced you to Islam.
No, that she's actually she's kind of she's not happy with me with that. Yeah.
Well, you know what, fellas? Usually we save these conversations
Yeah.
for the
We
actual
did.
show.
We just
Oh.
blew the load.
But we have to get this show started.
Get it.
okay,
Get it.
alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only way we can get this show started is to play the theme song, Kevin. Let's hit it. Hey, Welcome to everyone live from the Dutch Hall. I'm your host and two-time President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke. Today we have a real special show. We are running a skeleton crew tonight because of COVID concerns all over the province or world or whatever. Everyone's getting sick and coughing at each other, and so we decided to keep it to a skeleton cast. We have two long-time guests or long-time supporters of the show back to visit us in the hall. We have back and in the most intimate setting you've ever been in, Joe Botello.
How's it going? Fuck everyone in Intercap.
Hey,
Intercap, go fuck yourselves.
Joe. Yeah, this is there's no band, eh? There's no band here today.
Yeah, so it's more. I've always talked about this. I like more one-on-one.
Yeah,
we have
this time
some powerful conversations, me and you.
we do
Alone we usually do.
Yeah, usually, and in various stages
Yeah,
of undress.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yes, I would. I mean, I always like seeing you undressing. Very handsome.
And also returning to the show, hasn't been here since a Sandhouse Negro,
Oh.
AJ Bate, everyone.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello.
And our keyboard player extraordinaire, representing and playing the whole role of the Nocturnal Emissions, the greatest band in Canadian late night history, Kevin Van Dungen is back.
Van
That's a
Dungen?
cool name, dude.
Van Dungen, yeah.
That's your real name?
such a cool name.
Ah, man, the
Oh
Dutch
my
have
god.
The House of Dungeons.
House of Dungeons.
Van
If it wasn't for
Dungen.
Van Halen, that would be a sick band name.
Van Dungen.
Van Dungen.
It's way better than Van Dyke.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah.
we,
I don't
we
know.
don't need to be like
I wouldn't
hurtful.
Go,
You'd rather be called Van Dyke than Van Dungeon?
I like the Dyke part.
Yeah, I mean, who
Ew.
doesn't? But like,
I don't.
the dungeon part is pretty cool.
Dicks for me, bud.
You,
Dicks for me, bud.
you ever whip off a batch to a couple of dungeons?
Nah, I do. Yeah, I like Asian porn.
What? Asians are dungeons?
I thought dragons. I don't know. My mind's a little.
Yeah, you were stretching for it there, Joe.
Stretching.
It's okay.
The
We
only
all
type
try.
of stretching I ever do is mental.
I got to tell you, one thing we haven't talked about on the show yet, but is something I'd love to stress, is how much it sucks not to do comedy like we used to do.
Oh, we were just talking about that. Yeah.
I don't really miss it right now.
Yeah.
You don't?
You miss it?
I just like
Miss stand-up?
I just like I maybe miss it like in a sense of like how it used to be, but like now
Oh.
like I have some even the gigs that I've done since like COVID happened, I have not looked forward to doing any of them because they just never felt the same. Even if it was a live audience, just never felt the same.
No.
Just wasn't good. Like I have a show coming up like on Saturday up in north, and I'm just
Up in north.
up in north, and I'm just I was gonna say what
He's gonna say where it was. He's like, it's
No,
COVID times.
Yeah,
Don't
I want
say
to
where
say
it
yeah, but I'm not looking forward to that either. So
Yeah, that's another thing. Oh, that's another thing. We can't even we can't even really promote shows.
is. No, we're not supposed to be on shows.
Yeah, and then you're doing it. It's within the rules. They're doing all kinds of stuff, kinda, and
yeah,
but you always feel
shields
kind of
and-
shitty about it. You always do kind of feel kind of shitty about it. And then even when I did like actual comedy clubs, they don't give you that. You can't have
No.
that front row anymore.
no, it's not the same. Man.
And without the front row intimacy, it's just like that made the show because you can't see anything.
Mhm.
Like people that haven't been on stage, the spotlight makes everything else so dark that
Mhm.
that front row that was right by your stage was like really what you got a lot of your energy from.
You felt the laughs like fill the room, where now you can feel the emptiness because there's a laugh on the right, far right. There's a laugh in front of you, but farther front. Like you can tell it's empty just
Yeah.
from laughter because you're like, oh, there's not that many people in here.
Like Showtime. I did Showtime in St. Catharines. It seemed kind of full, except for even though it was spread out, but it still kind of seemed. I don't know because that room is long and narrow or something like that.
Mhm. Weird
It still
setup.
still seemed okay, but it's you didn't have people right by your table.
We did a show where it was outside.
Can we smoke?
Yeah.
The AJ and I did a show outside that was like probably one of the best shows we've done just even before COVID, and that still didn't feel that great. It was like it's just you have to be close to each other for it to be a fun like real comedy show. Everyone's so far apart from each other, and then there's like shields in front of you now when you do comedy, and
Yeah.
just
So-
it's not.
What do you think of these like drive-in shows you hear about?
Yeah, they're
Like with
weird.
flashing
Never-
lights.
I mean, again, like I mean, me personally, I'll do it once, but I
Mhm.
don't want to make it a habit out of it. Like, I'll do it just because it's like something new. I'll try it, but I wouldn't say that I like. Oh man, I wish I would get more of these.
And it almost becomes another art form altogether.
Yeah, well, we were saying that up here.
Yeah, we were talking.
If it's again, this is just obviously personal. Everyone feels differently, but if this is a future comedy, what we've been doing for the last couple of months, then I guess I'm not doing stand up anymore.
Yeah, no. If this is how it becomes, even after like the vaccine comes out
Yeah.
and everything, I had a good run with comedy.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna focus on other things.
Because I'm not doing Zoom. Those are
I just
weird.
don't like. It's not the same. Man.
Zoom's not comedy at all.
Nah, it's
But
and no
that
offense
might be
to
the
people that do
future.
it,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. Like,
Mhm.
I also hate the comics that are like that shit won't last. Like, well, they said that about a lot of things, and then they end up lasting. So for me, my thing isn't like, oh, fuck this shit, whatever. It's boring. Well, I'm just like, it's not what I want to do. It's not what I signed up for.
It's like TikTok.
It's like switching on me now, and that's not stand up, right? So to me, it's like, good luck to whoever wants to keep doing it. But for me, I don't want.
I think
to.
growth as a comic too, or well, not as a person. Like TikTok comes around, you can get into it or you can't. But to me, it's like I don't like it, so I'm not going to do it. But if that's a future comedy, well, then I guess I'm not doing comedy because I don't like it. So
Right.
I did stand up comedy because I love stand up. Like it's the way it was so fucking perfect and beautiful. It's just a room full of people.
I don't
Yeah,
In
why
the
do you
dark,
think? Why do you
it
think
was-
it's not gonna go back to that?
No one knows what's gonna
No,
happen.
I mean, I'm saying I don't know. I'm
Right.
saying if that's what's gonna happen,
Mhm.
I just don't.
Oh, I
You
think
should.
You guys, no, I think you guys are way too valuable. Like,
Yeah,
For
it's
yeah,
like
for-
even like
yeah.
me, it's there's no way it's not gonna go back.
Yeah,
to
but
that.
you gotta. But there was no way we thought the world was gonna shut down.
No,
So you gotta like be. I think if you're not mentally prepared to change course,
Yes, exactly.
you're gonna get lost and not do anything creatively.
Yeah, you
Yeah, that's
you
true.
you either have
Mm.
to want to do those Zoom shows in
Mm.
that new format, or switch to something else.
Like podcasts were new. So comics from the 50s or from the 80s are probably like fuck podcasts. But like I love podcasting. So I could do podcasting forever. So I mean that's a new thing that I fell in love with, but I don't like a lot of the other stuff. I don't like TikToks. I don't like all these little sketches. Like I'm not a sketch guy. I don't know, like I don't want to really do a lot of sketches. I don't know. I'm not writing sketches. I want to do stand up or podcasting. So I'm just going to do what I like to do. I'm
What
not
about
gonna force
improv?
No, fuck off. Improv can go fuck itself. Improv, don't you dare bring that up. I hope that dies.
Yeah.
I hope it dies. If there's one thing that dies during COVID, I hope it's fucking improv. It should just be used as an exercise for fucking managers at like some IT place to get their fucking workers to put more inputs into the computer. That's it. Like
I think we have to
That's
address
harsh, right?
address why stand-ups hate improv. And I used to go to improv more than stand-up when I was young. And I like comedy, but I would go to I would go to like Second City. I go to like
you like
Wouldn't
that.
it-
Laugh Resort.
You would never hear that from a Norfolk County boy. It's so bizarre that you said that.
What?
It's,
Well, maybe from
it's very like
LGBTQ?
So Toronto of you to say that.
oh, Pete and I did a lot of in grade school.
Oh yeah.
Improv comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys
like-
have known each other for that long? I
Were you?
know.
Or so
We're at
were you?
kindergarten.
Were you two like the artsy guys? Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, we had our class was we did a lot of productions at recess where we would
Ooh.
we had
hell?
It's true.
we did we did have a lot of gays in our class per capita, like
I think so.
yeah,
More
can
gays.
think of-
disproportion.
Hey, listen, I love gays, but
2 or 3 I
Three
think,
for sure. I can
out of
think
a
of.
class
that have come out.
24
Yo, 3 out of
like 20 maybe.
20.
that's actually
Wow.
more than in a city.
Yeah, I'm
3
telling you.
gays in
Well,
one
I mean, I
class.
wouldn't,
Oh, how many gays? Well, they were murdered back in
100%.
Libya, but I mean,
they would
like,
just
if
be-
you were in
Or they
England,
just would do it without saying that they are.
or they just go, "I'm not married."
They do like a practical joke.
None of the kids were gay in grade school.
no,
They-
I know, but afterwards, so 3 of them turned out gay.
Yeah, but we all knew that. Y'all knew that they were.
That's a lot.
You knew them. They
At
were
least 2 were.
back
were
then. They would
clear.
say that he's special.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Yeah,
He had a lot of sisters. That's what they would say all the time.
He had a lot of sisters.
Yeah, he had a lot of sisters. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
confirmed bachelors too. There was a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
confirmed
yeah.
bachelors.
Oh shit.
Confirmed meant
Yeah.
that they were.
Which is again nothing wrong. I hope no one thinks that we're homophobic.
No, it's just funny.
no, just sign of the times. Just how.
But I can't
things
believe
change.
3 in one classroom. That's a lot.
And for us to know it at that time.
Yeah. Did
We-
they know
yeah,
because
we-
they touched your pee pee?
Oh, the one guy, he was like,
Maybe.
The one guy was
He
like,
doesn't touch and tell.
Van Dungeon doesn't have.
Exactly.
What happens in
That's
the dungeon
exactly what
stays in
Van
the
Dungeon
dungeon.
wouldn't do.
the one guy was like, he was a nice guy, but we always just thought of him more like a girl than the guys. Like he was just like that. Like it wasn't that we knew he was gay or anything because we didn't know the
Just more
concept.
feminine. Yeah.
We just thought he was more like the girls than the boys, you know. And then one time I saw his mom. Like I'm an adult now, I have children and stuff. And
Yeah.
I see his mom at a local bar, and I say hello to her, and then she said, I says, "How is your son doing?" And
So like he's gay.
no, he goes, still hasn't found the right someone, you know. Like he's still looking for the right girl.
Okay,
Like, and I'm
yeah.
like, you got to be kidding me. And then I went.
She's in denial.
I went to befriend him on Facebook, and this picture is him wearing like a sailor uniform. Like
yeah.
it couldn't be any gayer.
Yeah, he's like Elton John gay.
you're like so gay. Like
And then you went to improv. You saw him in the audience. And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's gay.
The reason that stand-ups hate improv is because that the improv guys don't deserve the laughter they get.
Nah, I don't know about
It's
that.
given to them on the premise that they came up with it on the spot, which and they rarely, if ever, do. They're all preconceived bits that they have. You at least thought of it on the subway ride over to the
Or you
production or
borrowed
something.
it.
You kind of have it worked out before. You think I'll use this if they ever bring up this, and then their suggestions to try to make it like to show that it's authentic, like give me a this or that.
Yeah.
They selectively choose the easy answers that the same idiots in every crowd. You have a
They're very
certain
trained, yeah.
archetype of idiot that's going to yell out the same thing, like name an occupation. Someone will yell porn. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
I just
so
also
then you
like,
write a porn bit.
Two
Like,
sisters.
I just also like, you know, a more serious answer is like it's really stupid to just like hate improv. Like, you know, like another art form that people look down on is like clowns, but people
I love clowns.
don't know that in the especially like in the 30s and stuff like that, they were like, you know, very prestigious clown universities, especially in France,
There
where
still
like
is.
but what I mean, like it was like a serious art form back in the day.
Yeah,
But now it's you know, like even clowns look down on the circus clowns with like the red nose, like they think of them as hacks.
right.
But like back in the day, it was like serious clowns who were just like really like very artistic people who like really took the art form seriously. But and in improv is like the same thing too. There's a lot of like great artists, like Martin Short. Didn't he start as an
Yeah,
improviser?
Yeah,
all
they
those
all
second
started.
Like, there's a lot of like people who
Start.
who
Kindergarten of comedy.
Yeah,
But no,
That's
I
a-
don't think that's really what it is, though. I think it's just different, and it's just like we just
Oh,
all.
when did
Like,
but they
this
don't
guy
deserve
changed.
the if an
I don't
improv
think-
if an improv guy says the same joke is that Joe would say doing maybe not Joe but
yeah,
but Joe would
you're
say
a
on
hack.
stage no if he would say as a stand up would say the same joke that an improv guy would or even it's like crowd work, right? Like if Todd Berry did that
They
crowd
can't do
work
crowd
thing,
work,
Yeah.
though.
and if you said if a person's doing crowd work and it seems like crowd work, they get more of a laugh than they would do if they think it's your worked out bit. They expect more from it, you know? Like the audience won't give you the laugh as easily. You'll hear an improv, like they'll do a joke and it's not even that funny, but the crowd's like going nuts, you know?
But I think it's also the same as like stand-up comedy. There's a lot of shitty comics there, which is also the same for improv. There's a lot of shitty improv guys.
Improv's easy.
No,
though.
but
I don't
point-
think
the point's
I don't think the ones that do it really well don't come across as cheap. The ones that do it really well don't come across as cheap, and they really are always developing new ideas, I guess, with that amongst their troupe or whatever.
Yeah,
just the word troop
my-
is
my-
like, yeah,
I mean,
okay.
that's what they are.
but
I'm
it's not
done.
I'm not criticizing if they're good or
You're
bad.
saying they
at
don't
it.
deliver.
I'm
They don't
saying
deserve stuff.
They don't deserve it. They just get more than they deserve.
And
So-
I'm disagreeing with that. I'm saying that the good ones.
no, the good ones still don't have.
have you seen good ones though?
No, but you're missing the whole point.
Okay.
No matter how good you are,
Okay. Yeah, okay.
whether you're the best at it
So
or
saying
you're the worst
across
at
the
it,
board.
across the board, no matter how good you are, you're gonna get a laugh easier being an improv guy than you're gonna get being a stand-up comedian. That's the point. No matter if you're the best in the world, you do the two people do the exact same joke. Doesn't matter how good you are. It's the expectation of the audience that this person's coming up with it on the spot, and this person better have something good because they've crafted it over years. You know, they're obviously not expecting the same jokes from the two people.
But okay, well, I mean
Very elitist.
That's
of you.
it's a comment on the audience, not the performer.
But also, like, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of this show, but like, whose line is it, anyways? I've seen.
Colin Mockery is hilarious.
But I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I've seen some of the clips, and I mean, I'm not saying it's something that I love, but I've seen some of the clips. I'm like, that's pretty smart and very quick, witty
thought
of
it
them
was-
to come up with. Sorry,
I really thought that was all worked out.
yeah, no,
is
well,
it worked out?
I don't
I
know.
don't- I think a lot
No,
of it
it's
is.
under the premise that it's improv. You know,
yeah, I
um,
thought that was the whole point.
the whole
So-
point of it.
Yeah.
You like listen to Wayne Brady sing a song, you know, and you
Yeah.
hear the laughs he's getting. And I'm saying if that was a stand-up set where he came out and sang the same song, but it was a stand-up thing, and he wasn't setting it up that hey, I'm just coming up with it on the spot. I'm delivering it as a joke. There's no way that the crowd's gonna expect.
But there's also another thing about comics. We're very, including myself. We're very lazy, where we think that having charm as a comic is also like a shtick or a gimmick. And it's like a lot of these improv guys, especially like Wayne Brady, they're very charming guys. Like
Yeah.
they're charming. That's part of why they're funny or they get the laughs is because they're just charismatic. But if you look at comics, like, oh man, it's gotta just be about the jokes. Like I have to they have to either laugh at my jokes or fuck off.
yeah.
But it's like, dude, why are you taking yourself so seriously? Why can't you just like dress at least decent on stage and just kind of smile? And I'm guilty of that. But like you just look at it, it's like, maybe you need to not just have jokes. Maybe you need to have other things. Have a an approachable personality.
You have
or-
to. That's the.
But a
most
lot of
successful-
comics look down on. They're like purists. You're like you have
Yeah, but
to.
that's Dave Attell is the one guy that has. But even him at this point is just like kind of a shticky thing to him. It's Dave Attell. But anyone else act like Dave Attell,
but
and they have great jokes, they're not going to laugh because it's a miserable guy.
Yeah,
on
but
stage.
Dave Attell though has a charm to him, even though it's not like apparent or like immediate
But
right
the
there.
comics,
Like
you
even
know-
just the way that his energy on stage is like how lovable he is. Like you can't help but love Dave Attell. You just see him and you're like, I love this guy.
Yeah,
I
but
just
most
don't.
people act like Dave Attell
But
without
that's
the charm.
what
They're
I
like,
mean, though. It's like because they're lazy, they just they admire Dave Attell. That's why a lot of the comics we've talked, you and I talked about this, like with Dave Chappelle, especially like what Dave Chappelle does, like speaking truth to power and all that stuff, which is like fine. It works for him, I guess, to a degree. But a lot of comics are like, you see what Dave Chappelle did? I'm gonna do the same thing too. Like, no, you can't.
No.
No, you can't. That's not who you are. Not like comedy doesn't have to always be real and just like speaks power to truth and just like always has to say it like it is. Like sometimes
Well, you
So-
just named two good examples, right? Chappelle and Attell.
Yeah, but
You
no
know,
one-
Dave-
Attell
close.
does
Attell's
silly
silly
jokes
and yeah,
and he's nobody can say that he's not funny. He's one of the all-time greats.
yeah.
And Chappelle's, but like these comics are like, no, man, you see that comic? He told a joke that didn't really happen. Yeah, of course it didn't happen because real life is boring. If I were to tell everything that happened to me exactly the same way it did, it's not funny. That's the point of comedy. You exaggerate and you be silly. I don't have to always talk about the world and everything. I want to talk about yogurt sometimes, and
Yeah.
if it's funny, it's funny. Then who cares?
Yeah.
It's like if five comics did Stephen Wright's material.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's only Stephen Wright because he has a certain charm with it. It's great material, but it doesn't matter. It's more than just material. It's 100% more than just material.
Yeah.
Because Stephen Wright's material is fucking
Amazing.
great, but it's like again, it has to be done by Stephen Wright, or else it's not going to be as well received.
Yeah,
So you
Mitch
have to have
Hedberg-
your own charm and your own personality. You have to make them fall in love with you right now. Like maybe it's almost like a jealousy because the improvs have like a hack to make
Oh.
them love you. Not a but I'm like it's so easy for
100%
them.
is jealousy.
So it's
100%.
like
Most of them are more likable than comics.
yeah, but then
Yeah.
they stop
True.
there. The good ones will continue to do. Again, no one who's great at improv just does improv.
Yeah.
Everyone that's great at improv does everything.
Other things. Yeah. Yeah.
What was Drew Carey first?
stand up.
Comics, Yeah.
Comics. So the
Stand-up,
root
yeah.
is it's got to be funny.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
root.
that's
Exactly,
it. Colin Mockery
exactly.
is great at it, but he does other stuff.
He
like
acts and does a lot of
Yeah.
other things, and that's
writer
why.
and everything. Yeah, he's great
Yeah, some of the best people on Saturday Night Live will be the actors because they can
Yeah.
play the role of a well-written
because of
sketch,
the
yeah.
amazing writers.
And the stand-up
yeah.
comics are the writers.
Oh, the writers, they're
Yeah.
not good actors at all.
No, not at all. Because again, man, like
Because we're used to being authentic ourselves. You know, we're not used to being other people. We want to
Mm-hmm.
be ourselves.
But-
it
but-
feels like lying.
But
to be
we're all
someone.
like, but that's what I mean. Like we're kind of like kind of very like egocentric too much to an extent. Like there is a compromise between like telling your jokes and not kind of selling out in a way, but also kind of, man, just be approachable a little bit and be likable on stage. Like, it doesn't have to just all be that. And if you look at all like the famous guys, most of them have something other than their jokes. Seinfeld has his thing. Chris Rock has his pacing across
Literally everyone.
just all of them. Even Louis C.K. has a thing, you know. And all these great comedians, they're not just they don't just have great jokes. There's more to that, because people forget you're a showman. We forget that. You know, that's why I love so much the entertainment business when it was like in the 50s and 60s with like men wearing suits and
Controlled
shit
by
like
the Jews, am I right?
Yeah, and I wear a nice shirt. God
but that's
forbid,
what I
to
mean. I love
have
those
to
like
hear about from
I love
everyone,
I love those entertainment. I don't know. I just love those
Reek
entertainers.
of money. That's why we're just
Yeah.
jealous of that.
Like I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Jerry Lewis, but I love like how the guy, like, when he does a show, it's a fucking show where he's doing jokes and then he breaks into a song, and you're just like, he's a showman. He's a showman, and that's like such an extinct idea, and like comics look down on that, on like, oh, I have to be a stand-up comedian, I have to just tell jokes. I'm like, yeah, you can also just put on a show.
You
Oh
went
yeah,
through
God forbid you bring out a guitar and sing a song one time on
Yeah.
a stand-up
Yeah.
show.
Or a puppet.
Everybody starts yelling at you. Yeah.
AJ went through that. You, I remember like me and Moses would be like, smile, like from,
Yeah.
and we're like,
Yeah.
because sometimes it's like that's all it takes.
And
'cause
you're
you
right.
smile, and then
And
the
you're
audience
right.
goes, "Oh, this is supposed to be funny." He's
Yeah,
smiling.
exactly. It's
It's
not
a
supposed to
little
be
thing, yeah.
miserable. It's what the fuck are you doing?
Sometimes
Yeah.
it works, but again, at the end of the day, the job is to make him laugh. You can't make him laugh just going out there and opening up your veins and pouring out pain for everyone to listen to.
I just did it. I just did a amateur night.
You're like, "Wah, I have
Yeah.
cancer." Is that what you're doing?
You heard that joke, eh?
Wah.
It doesn't work that good.
No, it's
Yeah.
very
No,
real.
people don't like cancer for some reason. I don't
They
know.
really
You
hate
really
it.
sell it that you had it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I thought it would be okay. It seemed funny to me at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, no,
The-
it's not funny.
the
But
gallows humor.
they, but all these, but all the young people that you can tell, a lot of them were just starting out, but a lot of them was just like what you said. It was like very much just telling the world about your sad problems.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't-
exactly. Yeah.
And then you're like, "Where's the goddamn funny in it?"
Yeah.
You
The
know?
whole
Yeah.
job.
And I understand it's an amateur night. People are working on
Mm.
new jokes and stuff like that, so it's like not a, you don't expect like grade A material. But the subject matter, why is it always got to be about the saddest things? Like I'm just starting now after the number of years I put into comedy to figure out that I can take a story that's terrible, and I can tell you the truth and what happened. Like I can tell you the terrible thing that happened. But if you dress it up enough with the other stuff, the way you surround it with, and you get to it, you can still say the honest, like horrible truth
Yeah.
as the punchline, even.
Yeah.
That's talent. That's where the talent.
Well,
But
and-
it's like
years
it's
of-
hard to do. It takes a long time. But the people to see that end product and think that I'll just tell my sad truths,
and that's it.
And that's it. They don't get the whole that you got to hide almost the saddest part as the funny
you
part.
kind of have to trick them almost. But
Yeah.
like, a lot of the comics that will say you gotta like say it as it is are comics that would admire famous comedians like Richard Pryor and Carlin, all those guys. But people forget that when Pryor was talking about setting himself on fire or going through a divorce, it was hilarious.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But-
all
but-
gotta be funny.
Yeah, but they take the truth part, which is easy because anybody can go on stage. It's like, I went through this. My uncle
Yeah.
touched me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sad for you, but where's the funny part? He just touched me. That's it. Oh, well, thanks a lot.
This
Now
is
we're all
therapy.
bummed out. We appreciate
Oh, that's the one I hate the most. This is my therapy.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
you're-
Oh, I can't
Fuck
afford a
you.
therapist, so
Yeah.
I come. No, don't be here. No, leave.
All the best comics are miserable. No,
No,
they're not.
no.
I don't think so.
I mean, be miserable, but like fucking, what happened to being just an alcoholic in secret and just fucking die slowly?
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's all. If you're talking about great artists, that's what they did. Hemingway was like suffering on slowly, but kept putting out great books, and then eventually blew his head off.
Yeah, as
But,
he should.
but he kept it to himself. but that's what I mean. Like, nobody keeps anything to themselves anymore. That's why I fucking hate like
Facebook.
the Tig Notaro like thing where
Oh.
she will like cut off her tits because she had cancer, and then her punchline exactly. I love this so much that they had. I love that so much. Like, but then her punchline was like to take her shirt
Yeah.
off to show people, and
That's
everybody
so
was like
shocking.
standing over. Like, what? No. this is fucking. This is not funny.
We're like, where are those tits? That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Where them tits at, lady?
I don't know, man. It's just
Yeah.
like we're in a, like an overly sharing society now,
Yeah, like
and I just don't like that. I just don't like that.
I look at people saying I have COVID on Facebook. I go, yeah, a lot of people do. They don't tell
Guess
everyone.
what, dummy?
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Like,
Just
I-
don't go out seeing
Yeah.
other people. Keep to yourself. Yeah.
Keep it to yourself. You have COVID. Oh well. Wah wah wah.
Have
You
you
know
seen
what?
people
I don't fuck. So you know what? Relax. Sorry.
Do you see people say they have COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or
Yesterday-
just like when people like talk about, and I understand like depression is a real thing, and it's
Oh,
horrible.
well,
No. I mean, I don't have it, obviously, but like I
it's
mean,
contagious. I heard.
but I mean, being around you is.
Yeah.
But like, what happened? Like people like especially like some people like share pictures like I was in my towel and I took a shower and I just decided to spend the day crying, and that's okay. And I'm like, okay, that is okay, but
Why
why?
do I know about it?
I don't need to know about it.
Why are you
Y-
sharing?
Why are you sharing? But
Show
also
me
like
the titties
that's
again.
part of being exactly. Take the towel off. But like, what happened to just going on your own journey on your own? That's part of being a human being.
Well, that's hard. Though.
Fucking figure it out and suffer. Either kill yourself or figure it out.
Oh, bro, you're.
I'm just saying, like you just.
Bro.
He's got a sound bite. God damn it!
Yeah, I know that it's yeah, I mean, it's yeah, that's a gray area because like that one because you see like that fact that the opposite where you just kind of bury it forever was what we did. You can see that's not really the best way.
Well, everyone knows yours. Like you.
No,
your
it's not the
journey.
best thing. But here's what you do, though. Here's what I would. And again, I am. I know I'm speaking from a position of somebody that doesn't have
Yeah.
that. But like, look at your close friends, the people you trust, and confide in them.
Yeah,
That's what people used to do. I mean, obviously it's not.
they don't care, eh? You
But,
know
that,
what,
but
Really?
so
That's
so
a
so
funny
do you
fact.
think sharing on Facebook would make a difference if the people?
it's a larger net.
Yeah, but that's but nobody's
Gonna
gonna.
love me.
But nobody's
might
gonna
try.
like reach out and just be like every day. How are you doing
There
today?
are people that do that though.
Every day?
Yeah.
If you
Well,
put
those
it-
people, that person has a problem because that person scares me. Like, what is going on in your life?
They're trying to save everyone. Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
scary too because that's
Yeah.
like codependent. That's even fucked up too. I
Yeah.
keep telling Joe, the person that scares me the most is the person that's way too excited about everything.
Yeah. You
That
hate
person just
excitement.
scares me. That person just it's somebody that's just excited. Oh, we're gonna do this? Okay. Oh, you want me to check on you? Okay. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
And
in
while
your
you're
life?
doing it, they stop and go, "I can't believe we're doing this."
Yeah, I can't believe we're doing this. This is so exciting, guys. Isn't this great? I'm like, what's going on in your life? Ugh, you're
Nothing.
too excited.
I can't even understand that. I
Oh,
can't
I hate
understand any sort of enthusiasm where everyone kind of like gets together and when it supports a common thing like a
Yeah.
pep rally or some fucking thing.
It scares
I'm
me.
out. I'm out.
It scares
Makes
me.
me hate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't stand.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, when I go on a roller coaster, I just go stone face. I like, this ain't exciting. I just go.
well, I mean,
Everyone's going. Wee!
I'm not
I go.
saying don't enjoy
Look
your
around and
life.
just go. What's with you guys?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You witnessed the Mona Lisa being
Yeah.
painted. What is this
What is
bullshit?
this bullshit?
This
Boring.
doesn't do anything to
She's
me.
fat.
Yeah.
Oh, what is she?
Poor-
What is she,
poor-
a dude?
Yeah.
Ooh.
My kid was born. I was like, yeah. Why are you crying?
Yeah,
We're ready for a
So
steak.
beautiful. I'm like, is it? It's disgusting.
Have you ever had sex? That's beautiful.
I like doing what she's eating like you're eating her out, and then she's like, oh, you're like, can you please stop being so excited while I eat you out?
Well,
It's
I
not
mean, you
that good.
joke about it, but that's also something that comes through my
Really? Like you don't like when you eat out a girl and she gets too excited?
I don't know. Just like kind of like
You want her to stay quiet.
because I'm like that. Like most guys, like when we jerk off, we just like we
Yeah,
don't
it's
make
jerking
noises, right? Like when you jerk off, is it just me?
If you make noises when you jerk off, you're a weirdo.
Oh,
well, that's
alone,
what I mean,
yes.
right? So as guys, but that translates to also having sex too, right? Like I mean,
No, it
personally,
doesn't.
I don't make a lot of noises.
So you're
when
getting a
I'm
blowjob, you just go,
No, I go like I do the complimentary one more for her than for me. Like, oh
Really?
yeah, I'm enjoying it, but just the way that I enjoy it is being quiet.
yeah, but jerking off and getting a blowjob are two different things.
No,
You've
it's
never
not.
been trained. You trained yourself to be quiet during
Yes,
sex.
exactly.
So you trained yourself.
Exactly.
But when you're getting blowjobs, you were alone most likely. You were like already able to, like your parents weren't home, so you could just go, oh yes.
I just that doesn't enhance the experience.
It does for me.
Yeah, well,
and I grab I
You go,
pop
oh,
her ears.
yes.
Oh, when she's like
Oh,
blowing me,
oh,
I pop
yeah.
her ears. I go, "Ping." I go, yeah.
He's like Barney. Oh yeah, it's all.
You know what I like to do? I like to just throw compliments her way.
Yeah.
Like, as
Yes.
she's blowing you?
Yes,
See?
exactly.
But you don't like that, though.
No,
Why are you saying yes? 'Cause
No,
he's
there's a
host?
difference between. Oh yeah, I'm like you're doing a great job. Yeah.
I like to say, I like to say, if this was an Olympic sport, you'd be
Yeah.
on the podium, baby.
Ah, it's so
I would
sweet.
be like, you're a
What a
you're,
ham.
You're a true
Wow.
talent.
Yeah, he is in a house full of women.
At a
Fucking
girl.
Atta
loser.
girl.
Atta girl.
They're there.
What do you say, Van Dungeon? You go, you just been dungeonified.
I
Good
don't even know
God.
what a blowjob is.
What? You've been married a long
He's
time.
married a long time. Yeah, goodness.
Is he married to one of your cousins?
No, actually,
Oh,
he's one of
wow.
the few that aren't.
I'm an outcast.
You're an
Wow.
outcast.
Did you marry a Dutch person or
No.
Okay.
French.
French?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
exotic.
I mean, they like.
You'd think.
He's gonna get in trouble. He's like, cut that
Yeah.
out.
there's a
Pete.
lot of there's a lot of pent up.
Yeah, I'm
behind
gonna tell you
the
right now,
piano.
natives don't like giving blowjobs. At least not to their fucking husbands. Tell you that much. Fucking woman.
I think it's the marriage thing.
It is a
Yeah, I
marriage thing.
think
I think so.
that's really what it is for a lot of guys.
That's why you're never getting married.
Yeah.
I think
Pete
it
gets
also has to
blowjobs.
do with an internal or external clitoris. I've had this theory for a long time.
What?
If you have an internal clitoris, you're more likely to achieve orgasm through just regular sex.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and therefore, you're not going to be as apt to suck a dick
Really?
because you're not going to need a guy to eat your
interesting.
pussy to get you off.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you're not going to like return the favor as much. Sex does it for you, so sex is enough. So you'll just say sex.
I blame the
Whereas a
first
girl
guy.
that has an external clitoris,
Yeah.
which is more common,
Mhm.
those girls usually will have an orgasm through stimulation.
Oh.
Therefore, they need something a little extra. They're willing to give a little extra.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of
There's a lot
validity
here.
to that.
There's
theory.
some
There
weight
is
to
some of
that.
that. I can't. I want to dispute it, but
if you meet a guy and he says his significant other
Mhm.
does not give head,
Mhm.
well, it'll have to be a girl because if his significant other's a guy and doesn't give head, I don't think he has a
I wouldn't-
clitoris.
I'm like, what's the point of being gay, bro? He's not even
But-
sucking your dick. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
that would be the worst.
go back to being straight. Fucking.
But
if
anyway,
I'm gay, I'm sucking dick.
Yeah, if I'm
Oh, dude,
gay,
if
I'm
I'm
getting
gay,
my dick
I'm
sucked
s-
every day.
And I'm sucking dick
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, what's the point of being gay then if you can't put penises in your mouth?
Because it's part of the enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
right, that's what
And
you
you're
enjoy.
like hanging out with dudes more.
Well, that's the thing. If you're going to be gay, you would hope that
You'd hope.
that if you're a dude, especially, and you're a gay dude,
Mm.
that you're with a dude,
Yeah.
and so that dude should be as horny as another dude.
Exactly.
So
it should be
then-
hard to leave and do. You should schedule your life around the sex.
You,
You should go, fuck, we have to go out and do laundry.
you know something
Let's
I
stop.
found out like maybe like only 6 years ago is that I thought gay was reserved to gay men and lesbians was for all the women, but then I found out that gay applies to both men and women, and that
Okay.
just like was like
Blew your
such
mind?
a shocker to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted to
uh-huh.
share my stupidity. That's
well,
all.
then, because like, why do they got to have the L in the?
Hey man,
then if the
If
G-
it's
G
a
covers
woman
both.
and they're always yappy, wah, wah, wah.
so they have
That's
to use
why.
all the letters.
Fuck.
Eh.
The gay guy doesn't even need to be on the fucking LGBT.
he's like,
he
I'm-
doesn't even care. He's like, I don't need to be on a flag. Take
Yeah.
my color out. That's what the gay guy says.
Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't care.
This is the best way to get canceled, baby. Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah, luckily they can't cancel what it never was.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true. They can cancel someone they've
I'm
never.
cancel proof, baby. You can't take anything from
Can't
me.
uncancel me, bro. I got black friends. I got white friends. I got Chinese friends.
This is the thing with my daughter for real is that
Oh, I don't even want to acknowledge that. Go ahead.
my daughter's very
Progressive.
progressive, and she's like
Go Rose.
and
Both of them, or like one more than the other?
one more than the other. She's like a lot of times online, and she's
Is she the oldest? The one that's a progressive?
no the youngest.
Okay.
So,
So she treats the Mexicans that pick the cotton out here with respect. Is that what she does?
She's like, that's too heavy. Let me help you.
well, we don't grow cotton here, and this is
He's-
far
he-
too,
he-
we're far too far north.
He sounded disappointed that they're not doing that anymore. Well, used to
Oh,
back
my
in the-
grandpappy sat me down.
grandpappy. That somebody's racist when they say
Yeah. My
grandpappy.
grandpappy.
Joe, you're one of the only people that I will even let like a comment like that because that offends me to my core to say that the people we have from other countries work around here like
Yeah.
the connotation that they're like a slave labor of some
They,
sort.
you know,
we treat
I'm
them poorly.
protecting them. I could easily get round up by you people out here. I'm scared when I come out
He's a
here.
union guy.
Yeah, they might see me in someone's car and go, "That one escaped. Let's get him, boys. Let's bring him back to Intertip
Anyways,
to fucking
continue
milk our
back.
cows."
Talk back to your daughter because let this.
No, I'm pro Mexican, bro.
No, we're everyone's pro.
Yeah,
Mexican.
pro their labor. That's right.
Yeah, we're labor because
Yeah.
we can't get. We
10
can't
cents to the dollar. Am I right, guys? Save it.
What?
I
I
wish.
just want everyone to hate me.
10
Okay.
cents.
But you would actually do the work.
Who, me?
Yeah, you have a right to be upset about because I've seen you. You're a hardworking guy.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
And I mean it as a compliment.
Thank you.
I
I took it as a compliment.
And yeah, like I do.
You're an idiot who just keeps working and working like
no,
a
but
donkey.
but most people won't do the work.
Yeah,
and
I don't
we
care.
have
There's-
to we have to go to Mexico or wherever else.
Oh, I
'cause-
understand. I like saying that you guys have
Yeah.
them as slaves. That got me banned from New Limburg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, people hate that, babe. Because a lot of these guys will work like 20 years here. They have a great career. They're like 8 months of the year up here, and then only like 4 months of their home.
Yeah.
Like they're like they built huge careers.
Yeah, I
here.
got banned on stage as I was attacking them because they were like, I said Trudeau, and they're like, oh, I was like, oh, sorry, you're fucking slaves you guys bring up here every. And then like the owner just banned me while I was on stage because like I got for saying the word
owner is
Trudeau.
German.
Yeah,
It was
he
just,
just
like
again
such
I
a weird
upset
thing. I'm
the
like,
whole
I don't even know
crowd.
how the guy landed in this part of the
Yeah.
country, like all the way from Germany. It's so weird to come out of here. Out of
They
no-
need scientists out here too, don't they?
No, yeah, he does look like a scientist. Yeah.
I will make the greatest.
Yeah, I was banned from there too.
A
I'm
lot of people have
surprised
been banned.
I'm surprised that I went up after I was banned though, and then because Brett started booking
Yeah.
a show there, and then
I
I,
got-
just didn't tell Brett that I was banned, and then
Yeah, you just wanted to.
then I
Yeah.
was on the next show, and then
What's this guy doing here?
The whole hour up here, he goes, "Don't say this, 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 this." I go, "Sure, no problem." I went up there and said everything I said.
yeah, he told me 3 times.
Mm.
Plus, he told other comics that were on that show.
Mm.
They asked if I was there, just to tell me when I see me to
Yeah.
tell me to keep it clean and don't do this and that.
Mhm.
And I just did my regular act, and it was fine.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's,
Like Sieg Heil.
there was a weird thing about that room where the audience loved dirty stuff, but the owners didn't.
Mhm.
And it's like, I don't get it. You're a brewery.
Yeah.
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 Like, yeah.
Well, because one person probably complained. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the show that I hosted there, it was
We did
dirty.
the first show, and it was great, and it was as dirty as it could be. I hosted the very first one out there, and you were there, Moses, and it was dirty.
Yeah.
And it was a success. But I mean, as soon as one person complains, he just changes. That's a smart business move, though.
Was it billed as a comedy though, like a comic show?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
What do you mean?
Like were people going there expecting comedy?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
what do you think's gonna happen?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
man.
don't know,
It's
but I
just-
know that the show that I was on in particular, they had a number of comics who had about 5 minutes, you know, and they had about 5 minutes of, if it was dirty, that's all they had, so they're going to do the dirty. So
Mm.
they went up there. The guy who was actually booking it at the time, he said, "Here's the list of people going up." I was hosting, and he said, "Here's the list of people going up. Just call them up in that order." Like he
Yeah.
didn't. It was
wasn't-
it was
yeah.
terrible. He front loaded it with shitty comics
Yeah,
that
he
didn't
didn't-
have
I
any
never let
second
him-
gear.
I like the guy, but I never let him decide the list ever.
Yeah, you like that was my lesson learned
Yeah.
that time. It was just awful. I was just doing what I was told, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
which I now I know better. I couldn't let that happen.
No.
It was like it was a doomed night because of it. Anyways, and then so 3 guys were real dirty. Then they walked a table. The one guy walked a table,
which scares the fuck out of them.
and then they got
Mm.
and that was their friends or whatever. They were offended and left. And then I went up afterwards and was like, "Oh, I guess those tight ass people are gone," you know. And I told this squirting joke I was working on, and it turned out the rest of the crowd was pretty uptight. Too.
Yeah, I know. It's.
Then it was Bomb City.
I love that place though. Like I legit still love the whole atmosphere of that place.
It is cool,
I
and
love-
the
it's an
comedy shows
old
there are
school.
so fun.
So I never not had fun. So it's like it sucks I was banned. I still have I proudly wear
Well, I
the
mean,
shirt I
it
bought
doesn't
there.
matter because I don't think they have
Yeah.
a comedy show there anyways.
I think it's dangerous. It will be even more dangerous for a non-comedy place to start comedy up again.
Why?
Because it's like so many people are just so offended at everything, and you can ruin a whole business by like one angry person just takes to fucking Twitter or social media, and it'll just keep saying like, especially a small place like this, like, can you believe they let that happen in that brewery? Like, fuck that place, and it gets passed on.
I don't think so, man. Especially like,
No, I
the
think
considering
it's dangerous.
considering in what part of the especially the province it is. I
Mhm.
don't think people, especially people that would go to that place, don't have the inclination to be like, this is what.
Breweries are fancy. They're not like
Yeah, but I don't think
blue
the people
collar.
that go there would
Mhm.
like be like, oh, I'm gonna take my grievances online and shit like that. They might complain in person, but I don't think they would just escalate it. It's more like a city thing that they do.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
if you advertise a comedy show, the people going to the comedy show
You gotta
would
be-
most of the time not, would have an expectation that some of this stuff's going to happen, especially if you like promote it as such. But then it's when you know this, a lot of the shows that we do, especially at breweries, you go up there and you'll think they don't like, they got half the brewery just being a brewery, and then they got the other half is for this comedy show. That one in Guelph I went to was terrible. Like that.
no, that one, yeah, that wasn't set up proper. But
And-
the majority of the breweries I've been to, I think they're
are good. Yeah,
yeah,
like,
that one was like they didn't care what the other half of the bar was doing. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, and so it was just
Set up
ended
for
up being a
failure.
shit show. And
Yeah.
that could definitely put you in a situation where you're going to get that sort of like potentially like offending people that weren't ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, if you go to a comedy show and you got any sort of like you want to cancel somebody for doing a show, well, then you're just like you want to cancel the whole art form. You just want to
Yeah,
cancel.
some
it all
people
together.
are like that. You know, it's like Alfred said to Batman. Like some people just want to watch the fucking world burn. Some
Okay,
people are
wow,
fucked.
fucking quoting.
Yeah.
Quoting one
Shut
of your
up,
heroes,
shut
Christopher
up,
Nolan. That's
shut
one
up.
of the guys you jerk off to at
Fucking
night before you go to
quote-
sleep.
Nolan.
Nolan.
Fucking what a loser. Fucking quoting.
You love
a-
Christopher Nolan.
I like Christopher Nolan. Let's not get crazy here.
But that's a great quote. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
sure,
Some people
okay.
just
It's very
are
original
fucked
if
like
you're
that.
quoting Batman. What's next? Why so serious? Shut up.
Yeah, but I'll tell you right now though, I don't.
Oh, you're gonna quote "Oh brother, where art thou"? Go,
Continue.
I don't think it's gonna. I think that's over. I think the cancel
don't-
culture thing is on the.
I hope it's
precipice of
over.
being over.
I hope it's over.
I think if you've done something that's so egregious and like morally reprehensible, then whether there is cancel culture or not, like maybe you should be like cancel. Like if you rape somebody or something like that.
Yeah, and maybe
But
that's the
if-
next thing. Then.
Yeah, but if
but you should
you
go to
if
jail.
you tell a joke that people don't like or anything like that, I think that the best thing to do is just not give it attention. I think comics especially, we chase clout so much that we're willing to chase it even if it's negative, which is
Oh, yeah.
I don't
We
know,
see
it's
that
so
right now.
gross. But I think the best thing to do is just to, oh well, you guys just didn't like that joke. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
That's how
okay
it
to
always
not
was.
like that joke. But I said it, and we'll just move on.
All right.
If you want to complain about it. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I think that's maybe the evolution. The millennials brought forward this cancel culture and then like exploited it to the point where it was like overdone. And then I think the next generation of people are going to take that. They're going to probably still keep the aspects of it that work for them, and then rebel against the other ones that they think that went too far. So I think they probably will just like not spend their money on a person that they don't agree with, but they won't make such a fucking fuss over it. You know what I mean? Like it'll just
Yeah.
be like a understood thing that this person's a piece of garbage. I'm not going to support
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Just don't support them, but that also that means that the other person should. But also the reason why cancel culture became such a thing is also that the other side is also like, they're canceling everybody, blah. And it's like, no, just how about you just don't care what those people think?
Yeah.
They're never gonna like you anyways.
That's how. Yeah,
Well,
that's
Louis
how I've
CK.
done it.
That those people that don't like that joke probably will never be your fans. So why do you care?
Yeah.
Why do you care? I don't understand that. If you ever watch, there's a clip of Bill Burr and Bill Maher, and he said something that was really, I've ever since I've heard that, I'm like, man, that makes so much fucking sense. Because Bill Maher brought him on, and he was like, so you're a very edgy guy. You probably hate this cancel, this PC bullshit, whatever. And he goes, I don't care. And then Bill Maher was like kind of disappointed because he was hoping that Bill Burr would just be like, yeah, you're right. He's like, no, I don't care. And then like he's like, okay. Yeah, they just blog about it for 3 days, and then who cares?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
They're not going to come to your show anyways.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Why do you care?
Exactly.
Yeah, like
So-
Louis C.K. with all that happened to him, like he's still going on doing his
Yeah.
own thing.
Yep.
People still support him. It's just that the machine stopped supporting
exactly.
him. But he's still got his
Yeah.
base of fans that he cultivated, and he can still
Absolutely.
sell stuff to him.
And there are still people, if because I'm a fan of his, so I kind of like even like he talks a lot about how he does business too. So I kind of watch that too to learn from him because he's a very smart guy, especially in that part. And like if he wants to make movies again, like he always wanted to, he'll be able to do it. He still has his own production company. He still has a lot of money. he can still come up with a budget for a movie and release it on his website, and people would buy it like how he's always done.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, he just wouldn't be able to do it on a mainstream level. But that's okay. You know, he had a run for like how many years? How many people alive can say that they've ever had that?
Really, that's show business too. The chances of
Staying
the chances
relevant,
of
yeah.
anybody
Zero.
being relevant for even if you get to the point where people know who you are, you entered their
Yes.
lexicon,
Yes.
then the chances of you staying there for a prolonged period of
Yes.
time
It's so
is even more remote. You know, you're lucky you're going to hit for a bit. I always think of Van Morrison. You know, Van Morrison, he's a, you know, everyone thinks of Van Morrison's greatest hits that came out in like the fucking 70s or something or the 80s.
yeah.
And then, so everyone thinks that's his catalog, but he's put out an album a year since. An
Yeah.
album a year since. Like and some of it's been, most of it's been every bit as good as everything that
Absolutely.
he made in the 60s and 70s and
But
stuff.
he just got famous then.
I heard.
But that's when that's when he was pop culture, and
Yes.
now it's just that the machines left him. But as an artist, he's still every bit as valid as good. He's probably better than he ever was because he's got like 50 years of experience
Yeah.
under him. You know, like
Louis knew that was coming though. I heard him on Opie and Anthony, and he said Opie was doting over him, saying, "Oh, you're so famous," and he goes, "It's coming to an end." Like he knew.
Yeah, yeah.
there's a
Eh,
whole list of women I fucked
but
over.
no, you're right. You're right though. He did say that. But
Because he knew there was a
but no, but it
whole
wasn't
list of
just
women.
it wasn't just that. I think it's just because it also took him a long time to get famous that he just knew the nature of this business.
yeah.
That it's like, man, if you have like 3 years of like success in this business where like you have a show, you're nominated for an Emmy and stuff like that. Yeah, he also said something related to that where it's like
Quoting Louis C.K.
no,
What a
but
hack,
like,
eh?
but
Fuck.
but like that, but like, but like, you know, it's not everything lasts. It comes to an end. Like nothing is supposed to last.
No,
That's what
Like,
Babbitt
like
said,
if
too.
you, no, he did not
Yes,
say
he
that.
did.
He did not say
I will
that.
find it right
When
now.
did he say that? When he was hanging up Joker upside down? When
Yeah.
did he say that?
Nothing lasts forever.
No, but
Joker.
like, you know, like if you notice like the famous people that have lasted, how annoying they become. Like Will Smith, I can't fucking stand Will Smith.
yeah, he forgets how to.
I
be
just
normal.
like, dude, you've been famous for too long, and you just like have not done anything worthwhile in a long
Bad
time.
Boys 3 was go fuck.
It was
yourself.
horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
So bad.
It's just like so.
So bad.
So like, and again, what Louis did was horrible, obviously. But like, just he's made good money and he's had a great run, and now he's still doing it. But it's just like you again said, and the machine just moved on.
Yeah, but he said at one point in time, he goes, got about 1 million people who are my fans. He goes, that means there's 334 million people in the United States who don't have a fucking clue who I am.
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, he goes like, it's okay to have millions of people hate you.
That's
Exactly.
That's us.
Exactly, man.
Us three are like older. Like I'm glad I started older because I never got canceled once or banned from shows and go, oh, I'm gonna change how I am. I'm like, I don't care. I'll do whatever I want. And I've never stopped doing comedy. Banned here, banned there. I don't care. I'll still find some place to go. Why would I become? But if I was 20 and the first show I got banned at, I would like then change my whole like persona to make sure I never get banned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Be like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do because I'm like a young 21-year-old guy that wants to be a comic. But now I'm like, no, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want because
You're
it's
right.
way more fun. I've never stopped doing comedy.
Yeah, you're right. I
So
never
it's
thought
like
of it that
I
way.
don't care. Like I still do whatever I want. I still go on shows. It's like not as many as some people because I'm not allowed in certain rooms. But it's like I'll still go. I'll still have shows to do. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'd rather do it my way than just like not do things I don't want to do. I'm way too old to like care to fucking
It
give
must
a
be
shit.
really hard for brand new comics.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
probably scared.
Because it's brand too. Because then now you're coming in with in the 80s it wasn't brands. Now it's like, oh, I can't say that because that's not my brand. So everyone like first year in is like we were like I was like that
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about brands first year in like an idiot. Like why am I talking about a brand? I don't even know how to tell a joke yet. Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
So-
you know, I never really thought of it like that before. But you're right. Like if I would have started when I was young, I would have been trying to make it. You know, that's stupid, but like I'll be trying to make it. You know,
You just would.
and I would be doing what I needed to do to make it, and it would have been compromising. And now at my age, I don't compromise.
Even
Yeah.
AJ started later. He was like most guys start.
I started.
like 19. Like,
Yeah, I started 24, which
Yeah.
is like relatively young, but like I guess in show
Yeah, but
in stand-up
24.
comedy.
Yeah, but not 24. I always say this. AJ's 24, but he's not Western, or he's like Western, but he's 24 from another country, which is like I think is more mature. He comes like from
But like speaking about like young people who start now, like the reason why I feel like I've learned like so much just even before I even started, because we have YouTube now. If you go on YouTube, there's so many.
what is it?
www.youtube.com
Okay.
or .ca.
HTTP.
Yeah, /
Okay, go on. Sorry, I'm just writing this
But
down.
like if you go on YouTube, you can just literally like see every interview of every famous person that you admire, and that's when you kind of see when they talk about the side of, because back then, obviously in the 80s and 90s, like you had to either watch it on TV or it's gone, right?
Yeah.
But now YouTube literally, there's like 2-hour interviews with Alfred Hitchcock, and he just talks about filmmaking, and like, you can just learn from this guy. Whenever you can pause it, go take a shit, and then come back, and then we finish.
How much does this cost? Like YouTube must be like $9.99.
It's very expensive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You have to be like white or pretend to be if you want to get it. But like what I'm saying is that, like you have to like even as a young person, if you want to start comedy, just look up and see the attitude of the comics that you admire and what their attitude was and the lessons they've learned. Like again, like with Louis when he was on Opie and Anthony, he doesn't just talk. Like there's a lot of things that he talks about that are like really. And I'm using him as an example because I'm a huge fan of his, but like there's a lot of other comedians I admire that have said a lot of great things. And they always talk about just show business in general, like, it's unforgiving and that like, don't focus too much on making it, just get better, and just all these lessons that you would kind of miss if you started young, let's say, 20 years ago or something like that.
Like the
So-
Patrice O'Neill fans, they come in. If you're a Patrice O'Neill fan, I notice the difference too because you already heard all that shit.
Exactly.
He's already talked about like Kevin Hart. Like if you're a huge fan, you already know the ups and downs.
Yeah.
And because that's the kind of comic he was. He was very open about everything.
Yeah, and it's just like, with show business, if you get 3 good years, then just enjoy that for what it is and make as much money as you can. But like if it ends, that's also okay.
Yeah, that's normal.
Because nothing like lasts, it's
Nothing
not
lasts.
supposed to
No one
last.
said that, Batman.
He did not say that.
I remember when I started comedy, and someone said to my brother, they're like, "Oh, I heard your brother started comedy. What's he thinking? Like, does he think he's gonna make it or something like that?" And my brother said, he already made it. That's why he can do comedy.
Yeah.
Because he said that is making it. Just being able to do it, just being able to participate
Yeah,
in
exactly.
it, is kind of the making it.
And there's
part.
like definitions of making it too that are different from one person to the other, right? Like for me personally, like my personal idea of making it is that if I'm able to like just have my weekends booked in advance and then just be able to like make a project on the side. Doesn't matter how many people see it or anything like that. But if I have the financial freedom to do that, to me that's making it, regardless of how small or big the scale is. But I mean, I don't really care much to be like worldwide famous. I mean, if it happens, that's awesome. It's great, or I'm not going to say no to it. But it's also not like, there's definitions to it. Like you said, there's, just even doing it on its own. That fuck, man, that's how many people do you know that like
Do what they
it's
love.
hard to even switch careers between stable jobs, let alone just fucking doing this stupid dumb shit.
Yeah.
And also you got to remember, and I think of this honestly, I think that doing comedy, being a comedian, doesn't really matter. And part of it is that people take the comics or artists in general, whatever your field is,
Yeah.
take themselves way too seriously. If you boil down society, other than engineers, doctors, and like farmers and stuff like that, the society doesn't need anybody else to function properly.
Like you're kind of
Like-
an engineer, or
No, not
okay.
my kind of engineer. No, electricity, water,
good
stuff like
kind.
that. Yeah, the good kind. But like doing comedy or writing or making books and making films, that's not important. I mean, and I say that because you just see a lot of people who take themselves way too seriously. And it's like, it's important to take the job seriously, but don't don't let it encompass your whole life and just take yourself seriously to the point where you're annoying.
Right. I get
The world
that too.
doesn't need us. The world really doesn't need us to function.
Oh,
Oh my God!
Jesus Christ!
Lost a tooth right there.
that hurt. I kicked the stand. Jesus Christ.
Now you know how those 3 kids in kindergarten feel like. The gay kids. That's what I mean. Throwback.
Jeez. And so, I forget what I was going to say before I just.
Freedom, or they don't need us.
They don't need us. Yeah. Well, who else is telling the truth though, other than the comics anymore?
There's a lot of people that are telling the truth, man.
Jeffrey
There's a lot of people
Epstein,
that are telling the truth.
Jason Maxwell.
There's a lot of
Telling
people
the
that are
truth.
telling
Oh,
the
is it?
truth.
JFK Jr.
And we also
QAnon.
forget again we forget comics. I don't think our primary job is to tell the truth.
No, it's to make people laugh. And what we were saying before,
that's
our
the primary
job.
We get caught up so much in like
We are the
the
spotlight
modern day, the modern
I
day
hate that.
philosophers of the. No, we're not. No,
but we
no.
don't have the ulterior motive to lie, other than to get a laugh. I guess you can like. But
Yeah.
it's the person you're being though. I don't know.
So you're. I mean, again, you could go.
The best comedians, in my opinion, are the ones that can somehow boil down who they actually are,
Mhm.
and then when they're delivering their jokes, which
Jokes, you just
sure
said.
are full of lies, they may be full of lies. Who
Mhm.
cares? It's immaterial. But the person telling the jokes and the perspective in which they're telling them from is authentically who they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's still funny though. But
Yeah.
it's not true.
Yeah, but they-
Exactly. But the reason why
He's
I
talking
re-
about a different truth. He's like the truth of like this is how society should be formed, and we must all love each other. Like they get all like this, and corruption is wrong. Like that kind of comedy. Like that's weird. Just fucking be
a
funny.
lot of journalists tell the
Right.
truth. Like a
Mhm.
lot of local
Yeah.
newspapers tell the truth.
It's hard to know.
But as audience members, we're
Yeah.
laughing at the truth we're not supposed to laugh at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but the
right.
reason why.
But you're laughing.
But the reason why Pete
Hopefully.
even
I find the newspaper to be dishonest.
well, it
Yeah, but there's a lot
depends
of
on
great
depends on what
journalists there
depends on what
still, though.
newspaper though. If you're talking about the New York Times or whatever, blah blah, blah, that's fine. I agree with you. But local newspapers,
well, they're worse. Dude. Have you read a
They're-
local news?
they're not worse because they're not being funded because they're going
It's
broke.
just all Associated Press stuff.
There's still just like there's still a lens on that made to sell the paper. So like I know a guy in our local paper, for example, he only prints bad news stories. They're all negative stories that come out of this one guy, this Monty Sonnenberg. It's all negative.
Yeah,
negative.
because
Only-
nobody cares about their local newspaper anymore. That's the thing. Back in the day, your local newspaper was the one that you would get all the news, and not just like serious news. Just a new shop
like
open.
the Van Dudgens just
yeah,
opened
exactly.
up a new
the Van
daycare.
Dudgens are coming in town or something. You know.
The Van Dudgens Circus
But like
has
now,
just arrived.
because people like are so far removed from local newspapers that it just left for these fucking dummies who take over. But at one time, your local newspaper was where you would go and look at for what's going on in your city council or whatever. But like all these things that are
It
more
affects you every day.
that are more important, than fucking people worrying about who's president or who's prime minister and
Yeah.
shit like that. Shit doesn't matter. Your local stuff matters much.
Yeah,
but people, like there's in the States, like you have sheriffs, right?
Yeah.
There's people that have been running for sheriff for 25 years unopposed because people didn't know that they could run for sheriff.
Yeah.
They just, and that's even more important than who your representative in the Senate or who your president is.
Well,
That's even more important. But people just don't know these things.
like in Hamilton, they're like, "Oh, why are the streets turning 2 ways?" It's like, "Hey, dummy, you never paid attention.
Exactly.
There was votes. There was like things like LRT. There's
City
you have to
council
pay
meetings.
attention.
You don't go to any
Yeah.
city council. All these things that are really important. Nobody cares about. And they're like, well, everything's corrupted. Yeah, because we don't care.
Yeah, you don't give a
Because we
fuck.
don't care. So how can you, if you leave a gold mine unattended, you can't blame the gold mine for being empty. You're not there to watch it.
Yes, but somebody has to tell people that.
Yeah.
And that's the comedian.
No, it's
No, it's not. It's
making you forget
dude,
that
we,
you just
we
got
have we have
fucked.
freedom of information more than ever. More than ever. You literally can Google
Yeah.
anything on the internet.
So you want to tell TED Talks then? That's what
But
you.
then there's more room for it to be
Corrupt.
corrupted.
But
and-
that's up to you as a person to kind of know what is right or what is wrong. That's your rationale, your
Yeah.
senses.
Well, what I'm
skeptics.
saying is, as a profession,
Okay, as a comic.
as a profession,
We're
the
sup-
profession is supposed to not be influenced by anyone else. We're supposed to stand on our own 2 feet.
Very true.
Because we are independent contractors.
Yes.
of the
who-
truth.
No, independent comics-
who have no. There's no one paying us to be something for them.
Yeah.
I don't have to put on your
Kevin
uniform
Hart.
and be. Yeah, if you want,
Yeah.
The owner of the
if you
comedy
want to
club.
be, if you want to be a sellout,
Yeah.
Hollywood movie star,
Yeah.
playing to the big.
Yeah, you have
To the
Big
you
leagues.
you have to now be a corporate shill and wear their clothes and say their words and be their bitch and do that sort of stuff. What I'm saying is, a stand-up comic, the reason that I like it, the reason that I would like to do this more than anything else, is because it is the freest you can be. It's the most unaffected you can be. And when I was a banker, I felt like a fraud all the time because I was. I felt like I had to pretend to be this character that was a banker, but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And so you're playing a role all day long. You're not being yourself. It was the worst feeling in the world for me personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I knew that wasn't the right place for me. But then when I did stand up, it was like, well, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
want,
It's
yeah.
my,
Yeah,
it's,
we talked about.
Yeah.
That's
it's
what I
my,
love too.
it's it's up to me. And then if somebody wants to take it from me, they can do whatever the fuck they want. You know?
Yeah, you
can't
can
really
find
say-
another venue to do it, but if you brought the first thing you said about this was that
Truth.
I love the comics that were like they're representing themselves and speaking, but the reason why those comics or those people resonated to you, it wasn't just the truth, it was because they were funny, and that is why. And I think that's the missing part of a lot of I'm not saying anybody here, obviously you guys are funny, but I'm just saying about other comics who are just constantly quoting that, but then because telling the truth is very easy, man. It's very easy to go on stage and tell what happened in your day. The hard part is making it funny.
No, that's true. I'm just
That's the hard part.
Yeah, fuck Mayor Quimby. He fucking sold
like,
out. But
Like,
it's that's
like if you one of my favorite comics, Lewis Black. I love Lewis Black, but he talks about politics. That's all he does. But he's one of the funniest comics ever. And me personally, I love Lewis Black because he's hilarious. He talks about politics. He talks about corruption. All these politicians that do weird things. Even like he tailors it to every city. He does research about whatever's going on in the city. Talks about their local politicians. But he makes it funny because he speaks the truth, like you're saying, but makes it funny. And that's the hard part, is making it funny.
I think that's where Nick DiPaolo's suffering right now.
Nick DiPaolo,
He's just a little bit too political.
it's
too
this
political.
year. Yeah.
Nick DiPaolo is fucking
funny.
so funny.
So
Yeah.
So if you just watch him listen to him on Opie and Anthony, one of the funniest people ever. Even stories of comics about him, how he's just so quick and he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's turning
But
into this.
he has the same problem that a lot of older comics that get somewhat successful, at least, they just get lost in their own brand.
Yeah, even Carlin got real bitter and angry at the end. The last couple of
Yeah.
specials
Yeah.
where he wasn't as
But it was
funny.
all truth, though. It was like
Yeah, it
it's
was
true what you're
true,
saying. I
but it
love
wasn't
those
as
too,
funny.
but it was pure truth. So
Yeah.
Just
they
wasn't
weren't
as
as
funny.
funniest, but
So Patrice O'Neal would slap the shit out of Kevin Hart right now.
yeah, but he'd probably become him eventually.
Think so?
Yeah,
Nah,
but like
he wouldn't.
I don't think so. You don't know.
no, but he kind of I know again I hate speaking about these people that I've never met, but just from being a fan of that crew, he really loved Kevin Hart a lot. Like they were very close friends at one point, so he was kind of happy for him for the success that he had.
Yeah.
But he also, I think, knew that just what kind of person he is, because he also loved Dane Cook too, and he hated when other serious comics would pile on Dane
I still
Cook.
love Dane Cook.
Yeah, but that's what he was saying. He was saying that Dane Cook is a funny guy, but that's just who he is. He's not the kind of person to go on stage and talk about serious stuff. He's just not that guy. So in a way, in my opinion, I think Patrice just had that wisdom to know. I feel like a douche talking about somebody that I don't know, but like it's just as a
someone
fan,
you admire.
just from as a fan and as an admirer, I think he just knew to distinguish. Oh, this comic, that's just genuinely who they are, and I think that's who Kevin Hart is. Kevin Hart is just that guy who just will talk about what silly thing he did with his friend. He'll talk about how short he is. That's just who he is.
Yeah,
He's-
but what he's willing to do is he's willing to do what needs to be done in order to achieve his goals.
absolutely.
And Patrice was not willing to do that.
no,
There's a
not at
price he
all.
wasn't willing
No,
to pay.
and
I'm in that same camp.
Yeah.
I would not. I wouldn't do it. I remember when I worked for Farm. I'll just say it, for Farm Credit. They told me to. One time I had to chair this convention that we were having up
Yeah.
in Muskokas. And so I had to be the chair for when the senior management team came down to speak. But the theme of the conference was the Wild West or some fucking thing, right? So they go.
I would love to be there.
So they said, "P, we want you to, when you're chairing the meeting, where the
Oh,
to
yeah.
dress up and
Yeah.
wear." And I'm like, "No fucking way, I'm doing that."
Yeah.
And they go, "Yeah, like you got to do it." And I go, "No, I'm not doing it." And they go, "Everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing it. You have to do it." And I'm like, "I'm telling you right now,
Listen,
I'm
here,
not going to
partner.
dress like a goof for
Yeah.
because I remember a guy I respected
Mhm.
that actually mentored me at last year's conference, a guy that was probably maybe 5-6 years away from retiring with some dignity,
Mhm.
went up at last year's conference and chaired it, which was this theme was the 70s disco or some fucking thing. And he's dressed like one of the guys from Kiss with his fucking nipples out.
Yeah.
And I can never unsee that again.
they
And
will.
now any respect I had built from that man is gone. And guess what? I'm not going to be that same fucking guy. So
Exactly.
if you want me to chair it, I'm going to be more professional, not less professional. So go fucking suck my dick. That's the deal.
Well, that's the reason why you and I part of why we do comedy is the freedom of it.
Yeah.
Like I always say, like I get told what to do all day, and then at night I'm not gonna let some fucking 22-year-old or some fucking art major tell me what to say on stage. I just spent the entire day getting yelled at to do something, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna listen to that fucking person for 7 minutes. I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think in any career, whether entertainment or anything, you just kind of have to ask yourself, what am I willing to live with? I
Yeah.
think it's just like if dressing up as a cowboy.
I would have done it, Joe, just for the
Oh,
record.
well, that's what I mean. Like,
Let's go, partner.
like.
There's a snake in my
Let's
boots.
just say that I didn't like that idea of me dressing up as a cowboy, but I asked myself, okay, if I did it,
I wish people could see what you're doing right now.
Yeah,
just
just rubbing my
scratching your beard,
pontificating.
just like I'm so smart.
no, but
I'm an
I just think it
engineer.
comes down to like what you're willing to live with.
Mm.
I think if you do it and you feel like, okay, I can face myself with it, because there's stories of famous, not necessarily famous, but like big comics in certain provinces who like have an act that they do specifically because they know that the crowd that comes to see them wants that, and then literally in the bathroom before they go on stage, they look at themselves in the mirror like, you fucking suck. There's stories of
And then they
comics
snort a big line.
and they're doing but like, you fucking suck, but they go home with a lot of money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that because I don't want to live like that.
If you knew it was bad, you wouldn't do it just for the money.
No,
What if it was
But if
like
it was something-
vaudeville? And they're like, you want to come out as blackface? Would you do that?
I'd do it. Yeah.
Yeah. See what
You
love.
want to know why I would do blackface?
please tell me.
To respect the people that did it before you, right?
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke did it.
Because
Dick Van Dyke, Trudeau. Who didn't do it? Your grandpa, your parents.
Grandpappy.
like people did it, like they did it on that Community show Community.
Mhm.
They had the Dungeons and Dragons episode. They
Yeah.
won't play that now on Netflix.
Yeah, but that
because-
wasn't actually blackface. It was kind of like blackface, but not really.
What was it? I didn't even get to see it.
Yeah. Well, they had a character in Dragon Ball too that was basically blackface, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it was blackface.
Chim
yeah, it was
Chim
a
or
fat, like he was also Indian, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
it was so funny.
so funny.
They haven't censored that, but the Japanese don't care.
They do not
Yeah,
care.
they
They're
do
so
not care.
racist,
Yeah.
but they're fucking so smart. Man.
I
No,
watched some anime with my kids.
Yeah,
Japanese anime.
yeah.
And
You should watch Bible Black with your kids. It's really
Bible
good.
Black?
Write down Bible Black. Yeah, it's really good.
All right, I will.
It's really
Bible
good.
Black.
Yeah, it's really good.
But it's this one had Freddie Mercury in it
Oh,
and a gorilla and
Yeah, they don't care about
a
property.
gorilla with smoking a cigar, I
Mm.
think, and Freddie Mercury was like the main character in this. Like it was like a crime fighting like thing.
Yeah,
But Freddie Mercury was the big badass.
yeah. Girls love fucking anime, dude.
But
They love
also,
it.
like, you know, a lot of Western like, you know, directors and shit like that, they love like Japanese animation because they're so like
Well, freedom.
they're so free and they're very creative and they just come up with these insane, outlandish characters. Like there is an anime that's going on right now called JoJo's Bizarre
Yeah.
Adventure. It's fucking amazing.
It's
It is childish in a sense, but it's just so awesome because the characters are just like so flashy and they're crazy, and it's just these guys are wearing like tight spandex things like with the chest bare and just crazy hair, and the music is like rock and roll and then psychedelic. It's just
you would love Cowboy Bebop.
It's
oh my God.
so like all these things are like the Japanese just really were balls to the wall. Like even like Akira Kurosawa, like he did like so many crazy things with it in his movies that a lot of like Western guys are like, man, I want to do that too, and that kind of like inspired so many people. But the Japanese are just like, when it comes especially to the entertainment industry,
They don't care.
I man, they're so
It's just whatever you can.
they're
do.
so like light years ahead of so much of the
Dude,
stuff.
they
that we
turned
have
a
here.
plumber into a superstar.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
They
if you
turned an
watch-
Italian, a WAP plumber into a
Just
superstar.
yeah,
Who,
just-
Mario?
yeah,
Mario,
yeah.
yeah. And his brother Luigi.
Yeah, if you just like watch even the video games, man, they just had like so many.
Oh yeah.
Their video games were just so ahead.
It's the only place I want to go is Japan. Everywhere else I could care less.
Really?
I don't want to travel. Anywhere I
You're not
travel
much
is
of a
because I'm
traveling
not much of
guy.
a travel. I like because Canada is beautiful. We have all these people like AJ from other countries. They come here and we celebrate them. I only travel because of comedy. If it wasn't for stand up, I would never really go anywhere. But like I want to go to Japan so bad. I
Yeah.
love Japan.
Charters has been, and he says it's like
And Thailand, sorry.
huge.
But that's
culture
just to
shock.
fuck lady boys. So fucking would love to fuck this shit.
As soon
with
as you
some
did
lady
Thailand,
boys.
everybody was like, because
Yeah.
of
Yes,
'Cause of
everyone
Lady
knew it was
Boys.
Lady Boys.
everybody
You didn't
knows.
have to say that.
Nobody was like, oh,
Yeah.
is it because of the culture?
It'd be weird because I would go to Japan with my son because he also has a huge love, and then I'd go, Dad has a meeting for 2 days in Thailand. You stay here. And he's like, no problem. Unless
That's
he
how you
goes,
talk.
let's go, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's my boy.
That's my boy. He's like, I like just guys. I'm like, lady boys, keep it cultural.
Is your son out of the closet?
No, I don't know
He's
if he-
not out of the closet.
Yeah, he's waiting for dad.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
coming out.
just
I'm
be,
coming
just be an
out.
example.
I'd be very proud of my son if he was gay.
Whatever. Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
That is a fucking point about all that.
Yeah,
With my
for
daughter,
literally
the
everything.
social justice warrior thing, that's kind of my whole point all
Mm-hmm.
the time to her is that nobody really cares anymore. Like,
No.
it's,
Yeah.
aren't we past it already?
Yeah.
And then I have my therapist. He's a gay guy, and he says to me,
Oh, of course he is.
"Because
Why would it be? Of course.
Because he's fucking little
Oh,
gay. you know
continue,
what I mean?
Pete. Continue.
it's a lot easier to cry in front of a gay guy. It's like it's better for me.
I'd rather cry in front of a girl.
He
I
has
would
a-
never
yeah,
cry in front
He
of
has
a guy.
a big lap.
You would you actually picked him for real? Be honest. You picked him because
No, I didn't know he was gay.
Oh,
He was recommended to.
but
him.
like, but are you more comfortable crying in front of a man or a woman?
No, a gay man, and I'm more comfortable crying in front of a gay man than a straight man. I don't want to cry in front
Even
of
if he's
Burt
gay.
Reynolds.
I don't think I'd be able to cry in front of a gay man because I still see him as men, not like you, bigot. I see.
Anyways,
men as-
Pete.
I'm just saying, if you're in front of a macho dude, like
I can't.
Like
it
Burt
has to be a
Reynolds.
girl. I'm so very. I could cry my eyes out in front of any woman because to me that's just like that's what
It
they're
would
there
also
for.
increases the chances
Yeah.
of them wanting.
No, but it's like they're there to help me. Like that's how again old
wow,
fashioned.
you see
whatever.
women as they're just freaks.
Yeah, they're
to help
yeah,
you?
they're just
Piece of shit.
there, like to
I
help
thought-
me emotionally. Men, I'm like I'm not crying in front of that guy.
I do actually not like going to male doctors. Like I don't like man doctors at all.
See, I'd rather go to a man doctor,
Yeah, I wouldn't-
especially if they're non-white. I'm like, yeah, for sure, because then they know way more. They don't give a fuck. But yeah, guess what? You're sick. I'm like, thanks. No bullshit around. They're like, white people are
I
like,
love
maybe
how, like-
if you exercise a little
I
bit.
love how like the doctor chuckles when he's like, "You're fucked."
Yeah, I have a Polish doctor, and he
Never
goes,
seen that before.
I complain.
I
had, like, a lo-
that is concerning,
I had a laundry list.
and I'm
of-
a doctor.
I had a laundry list of things that was wrong with me, and my Polish doctor goes, "It's all because you're fat." And I was like, "Thanks, Doctor."
He's not
Golda."
wrong.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
totally right. Everything
He's
was.
so right.
He's like, "This
If
is
you
because
lose-
you're big. You
if
lose
you
this
if,
cholesterol."
if
I
you
was
don't
like,
stop being fat piece of
Yeah,
shit,
you-
you not be.
Joe, you're almost diabetes, almost. And I
But
go,
sorry, you were talking to your daughter about that
Yeah.
stuff. So
no, we're talking about him crying. So you're crying.
no,
in
you were
front of this
talking
gay
about like
guy.
your daughter, about like all the like social justice warrior stuff. How it doesn't matter, nobody cares.
For the
Yeah,
record, you could cry. I'm
and
not
then I
saying-
said that my therapist told me that he was called a gay slur like once a week.
Mm.
And then I was like, well, maybe there is a need for it then. Like, I don't know, like, because maybe I'm just naive and thinking, like, aren't we all past all this shit? It doesn't seem like a big deal to me anymore. Why
Because
are we
you
still
are.
talking about it?
Because you are.
Because I am.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but do you think when you cry in front of your gay therapist,
Oh my
his dick
God.
goes inside of him? Because he's like, oh, I'm not fucking that now.
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't. I think he's
I
probably
don't
being
think
professional
that.
mostly.
Yeah, I
And
think,
he's
I think so.
probably not
Yeah, not
thinking-
everybody.
Like if I'm a gay doctor, and
Not
like,
everybody-
Pete's a hot guy, and Pete walks in, I'm like, I might fuck this guy,
Yeah,
and then he starts crying and
cries.
go, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I'm not fucking this guy.
Well, number one, I assume you've never been in and had any
I've
sort of
No,
therapy.
he's never,
done
no.
therapy, no.
And so most of I think he's probably seen other people cry before.
But men that he wants to fuck though.
Well, if by your definition, anyone that's at least like a 7.5,
Yeah.
that's his patient.
Yeah,
He would
won't.
probably
Yeah,
wanna fuck.
he's a man. If
And
he's
then,
me,
so
I see a woman come in, and I go, if she starts going yap 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 too much, I go, I don't want to fuck this one either.
Well, yeah, I suppose he doesn't want to fuck me anymore.
Yeah.
But that would be
I mean,
that would be probably a fair. You know, it'd be like if a girl came to me for like say financial advice, right?
Yeah.
When I-
she's like, yeah.
When I was a banker,
what are you doing here? You don't have your own money.
Yeah.
No, I'm working for a bank again. Like
Okay.
I'm going in a time machine. And so
Yeah.
like I'm going. The girl comes in, and then she's like super hot, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally want to bang her.
Yeah.
Right. And that is not good for the meeting. That's going to
But you're
start us
still
off in
a
an
man.
unprofessional.
You
so
man.
so like, but so I can keep that to myself.
Yes.
It's just going to be in my brain that I really want to
Yeah.
have sex with this girl, and I'm going to try to be professional. Now all of a sudden she starts talking or showing some sort of emotion or feelings or something, and it makes my dick limp.
Yeah.
You know, it just turns me right off
Yeah.
completely. As far as the business goes, the reason that she came in, it's turned out for the better for her.
Yeah.
Because now we're gonna actually get down to business. I'm not gonna be like,
fuck her?
swayed by the.
Oh, so
by
you
my
cried on
horniness.
purpose so your therapist wouldn't try and fuck you.
No, it was just I didn't cry on purpose. It
Oh.
just happened that
It just happens because he's
Oh.
at therapy, man.
Oh,
because
I
you're a
don't
therapist.
know, man. This is
You know, I mean, like you don't have to be a therapy to know that he talks about emotions.
Yeah, and they what else? You know what else they do? They'll tell you like
Yo, I'm not an engineer, man. I
Shut
don't
the
know these-
fuck up. Continue, Pete.
they'll tell you like if they'll like make you tell stories about how your dad like yelled at
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
and
then you cry?
then hit whatever the shit you
Yeah.
said at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
That's the stuff
Oh, the
that your-
parenting?
that-
Yeah.
That's the stuff that your kid's gonna have to tell.
I
the
hope my
therapist.
son doesn't
Yeah.
cry in front of a gay therapist.
Why?
I hope
Did
he
you
cries in
raise him
front of a
wrong?
woman, like his father does.
I don't
Just
think-
random women. I go, hey, how's it going? Oh, my papa.
What's the most embarrassing
Why is he
place
like
you've ever
a French
cried?
character?
What?
Oh.
Where's
Je
the
suis
most
papa.
Where's the most embarrassing place that you've ever cried? Like what's the most embarrassing
I
time you
mean,
couldn't hold it together?
oh, that I couldn't hold it together?
I'll tell you mine. This guy witnessed it. It was,
wasn't gonna
it
say
was
it.
in Dundurn Plaza in
You're actually
Hamilton.
gonna say it?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
who cares?
alright.
It was Dundurn Plaza, and I.
But I didn't look down on you.
No, you didn't.
I just didn't
and
wanna fuck
that's
you.
why I was
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
let go. Thank God, it was a
yeah.
plan. But I cried in front of
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're like brothers, so it's like that's what you're supposed to.
But
Like,
it was also because I also didn't cry for like 7 years.
yeah, he didn't.
And I
I'm
was
kind of a
g-
father figure. to
And
him,
I
too.
just kind of like it was built up. I think I almost like kind of sort of passed out.
yeah, it was. You did. That was in
Yeah,
Brantford.
yeah,
yeah, I had to pick you up.
like my knees got really weak,
yeah,
and I like
it
almost fell
it
to
was
the ground.
very.
It was really
I mean,
bad.
I mean,
Is
it didn't
it-
bring us any closer, but it showed how I think to me, anyways. We never really talked about this,
That's okay.
so this is like therapy right now. So to me, it felt really like it showed me how much you actually trust me and love me.
of course.
Because I already knew you loved me before, but
course.
that moment I was
mean,
like, oh, he
will-
loves me.
I
and
wouldn't.
trusts
I
me.
wouldn't do it.
'Cause
If
it-
I
yeah.
wouldn't do it in front of you if I didn't.
Like if
trust
I
you
felt like,
that.
I mean, we've talked at night, and I've kind of been sort of like
Yeah, we
emotional.
have
We've
been.
gotten kind of close to, but I've never full on cried in front of him. So I mean, if I'm gonna cry in front of any man, AJ probably is one of the guys I would cry in front of. Is
But
AJ?
you can control.
Oh, I
your
can
crying?
control it. The only time I've never not controlled it. Like I've only cried when I've wanted to cry. Other
Really?
than like watching fucking Iron Man die and Captain America. Other than in a movie, yeah, I can't. No, I can always control myself from not crying.
Oh, really? I just
Yeah.
I have no idea it's coming ever.
Yeah, because you keep it in too much.
Well,
I cry in front of other like women a lot.
well, I
so-
didn't know it was coming either, right? So it just like all of a sudden just I couldn't even control it.
Like you literally fell.
Like usually I'm good
yeah.
at I'm really good at.
I
keeping
can't believe
it.
you're telling this out like that.
I mean, it's nothing really to be embarrassed of.
I'm not saying, but it's personal. So
That's okay.
Kevin, do you find when you get older you get more emotional?
Especially after having a kid.
I've heard that.
That's
I've heard
happy
that.
tears though. I've cried
No, but
happy.
And just in general, I think
I could have heard a story about like a bus going through
you would laugh it off.
yes, that's another
like-
thing that
you're
gets
like,
me. Yes, yeah.
oh shit, that's sad. But then you have a kid and you're like, holy fuck.
There was a Chinese
Yeah.
girl that kept getting run over and no one fucking paid attention to her. This was a couple of years ago.
Jesus.
And it was a whole so
Jesus.
there was this story, I forget her name, but it hit me so hard.
course you don't.
I was watching this thing. This was like before comedy, and this little girl, the video was like just truck after truck, and this lady finally picks her up, but she died, and I cried for a month. I was sad. Facebook memories will pop up of me going, the world is fucking terrible and gross, and if there was a god, he should die. Like I was like so like fucking angry and mad because it was like I couldn't believe that people were just treating this little child like she was nothing. Again, I was a father. I wouldn't have cried maybe that much before, but I was
Yeah.
fucking done.
I think
I
see that in my dad
Mhm.
too, who like really isn't like the most emotional person in the world, but like I see like as he gets older, like he's now in his mid-50s, getting close to his 60s, and he's
old as fuck.
and he's more emotional than ever. Like he really,
Yeah.
I haven't seen him cry, but he gets he doesn't he wears it on his face a lot more now.
Yes,
Like,
that's the
just
other
as
thing. They
soon as,
wear
like,
it on their face
whether
more.
it's a story or even just like we're talking to him about something, he just gets really like messed up
Yeah.
real quick.
You don't want to marry
Exactly.
a Muslim woman.
Well, I'm at the age now where I'm kind of like taking care. I'm in the sandwich generation, so I take care of my parents, take care of my kids,
Oh, okay.
And it's like my dad. He's he has health problems, and so like he shows you a bit of vulnerability, and he gets more emotional and stuff like that. And I remember like when his health wasn't that good, he was like. He got emotional like in front of me and started opening up to me, and I started like thinking
Punched
like
him,
this
right?
is so
Punched
weird,
him.
that all the years that I would have to go to him when I was upset, and then he would console me or he would give me advice, and
It was
now
your
it's my
time to do
turn,
that, yeah. It's
So-
a lot to take on too, man.
Yeah, so like
Go ahead. Sorry.
so like when he came to me and he was like like tears in his eyes and stuff like that, I just thought I just told him just kind of thought of all the things he told me when I was a kid, and I said to him, I go, if you keep that up, I'm going to send you to school in a dress.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit intense.
that's good. Like,
yeah.
I would have just punched him. I would have said,
No,
I
my
said,
God.
don't you dare do this in front of me. I need
You
this.
here's the thing with Joe.
I have a terrible.
You
terrible-
also can't take it like he's like being serious, and you have
Yeah,
to
and you know
turn
what?
it
To be honest,
No, I
when
was
that,
trying to.
he's trying to be on, but
No, I wasn't. I was. just
he
trying
knows
to
I
fucking joke.
he knows I have very.
Oh, your dad didn't.
He knows
really
I
tell
have-
you. Hold on a second. You
Oh,
mean
no.
your dad didn't tell you to go in a dress?
No, I told my dad to go to school.
Yeah, 'cause that's what-
he did actually tell
That's
me.
what he
Yeah,
did
that's what I was gonna
as he
say.
should.
Yeah.
Because he goes, "There's enough of them there. You need to show them how to dress."
Yeah, like if I cried, he would be like, "Suck it up," or "I'm sending you to school in a dress."
Yeah,
He'd say like, "I'll give you," or "I'll give you something to cry about," or
and then he
Yeah,
sticks
that's-
his finger in your ass, right?
No,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, it's Portuguese. It's different.
it's a different.
Like he
culture.
knows, AJ knows how bad my relationship with my father is. It's bad.
Finger of the butt bag.
No. My father.
Oh, he
no,
would
he's a good
never.
guy. He's a good man, my dad. But me and him don't get along. Like
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say. It's just my relationship with him is terrible. But he is a good man. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be an explosion when it happens. If we ever like solve that problem, I'll be like, whoa.
Is he still in your life, your dad?
Well, he's alive still. Yeah.
Yeah, but you like get
No,
together
I don't
at
talk. I haven't
Christmas
talked to
or-
him. No, this is probably the first Christmas I don't see him.
I've been seeing his finger itching to do it. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah,
wait.
this will be
you
the
wouldn't.
first-
You wouldn't
yeah.
stop talking. I didn't want you to stop for a second because he was waiting for the right moment.
Yeah,
to
so this will be probably the first Christmas I don't see.
yeah,
him.
like me and my dad, we don't have like a horrible relationship. We have a good relationship, but it's just because it's so like the rapport that I have with him is like very serious and like not emotional. So even now that he's becoming more of a sensitive person, I have a hard time adjusting the relationship to that because like that's not what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's not who you and I are. Like he's more like that with my youngest brother because obviously he had him at a very later stage of his life, so they started off like buddies, But me and my dad, it was like, he's the dad. Like, if he walks in, you have to be quiet, and if he takes a nap, like, nobody should disturb him.
Yeah.
So like,
He's fucking your mom. You don't know.
oh no,
that.
not at all. No. My
Just
mom is
let
like, everybody be quiet. Like, she's being
I'm about
quiet
to
with
have a-
us. I'm like,
I'm
what the
about to have
fuck?
an
It's like a
orgasm.
hostage situation.
Yeah.
Like I teach you when you jerk
so,
off.
So
Be
as
quiet.
I got older, it was like really hard to roll that back. Like I'm just so used to having that type of relationship with him.
Did you learn how to cross your legs from your dad too when you talk?
No, yeah, I have actually. He does sit like this.
The relationship I have with my son is the one I wish I had with my dad. Like I think that's what a lot of us do. Like how like I could say anything to him, I could be an asshole to him, but I'm also super loving and his friend, and then I'm also everything I'm doing with him is literally everything I want from my father. So it's like I don't. That's the greatest fear is like when my wife gets mad and goes, "You're just like your father." I'm like, bitch.
Yeah, that's the way. Kids like calling a woman saying she's like your mom. She never likes it.
Yeah.
And but I think that your kid will raise his kid based on all the things he didn't get
experience.
from
Should take the good things. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
you. But it'll also like have some void of like I remember like my dad. He felt he didn't have a lot of material things when he was growing up, so he was really big on the material things, but maybe not as big on the time or something, And then so like for me, I put all my focus on the time I spend with the kids, and then not as much on the material stuff.
Yeah,
and then, so maybe then they'll somehow feel like they're lacking in that, and then maybe they didn't get enough of something different, and.
So you think it's always about not getting enough? You think we're making up all the time?
Or too much or something like there's something. I think you'll find that out. Like even my kid went to. My one kid went to therapy, and then they try to you dissect her childhood, and then they're looking for ways that I traumatized her or that her mother traumatized her through growing up, and no matter how good your intentions are and how much you want to do the right thing, you're still gonna fuck something
you're always
up.
gonna do something wrong.
That's why I always say kids don't go to therapy. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
I say it to my daughter. I'm like, speech therapy? I don't think so.
He's like, I just don't know how to talk. And I hear whining.
Why a triangle? I'm like, that's the only word you need to know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He does another shitty joke of his.
I remember.
Just so upsetting.
Yeah.
When you have kids, you can say whatever you want about them.
I don't
right?
know, man. I feel like it's so hard, man, to be a parent.
It's hard
not,
being- it's like a-
It's really.
it's like
no. You're gonna pat yourself on the back. No,
I'm
it's not
I
what
was
it
gonna pat all of us who are
No.
parents, you know?
I just feel like it's really hard to be
Thanks,
a parent,
man.
man, because
Thanks.
you just like really like you're all still like you're still trying to figure out yourself even in your 40s. So
he's way older than 40.
No, I mean, but like just people in general, like you
Yeah.
still really don't know yourself until like very later on in your life. And so imagine throughout that journey, you're raising another
Oh yeah,
human being.
You're
like,
a different
what the
human when you
fuck?
have them. Remember when you first had them? Like, fucking dumb you were when you first had them.
Yeah.
Like, and then you look now, you're like, whoa.
Pete's like, yeah,
Yeah.
He,
We
even,
were like-
he even said it with
you're
a
a
dumb face. He's
child.
like, yeah.
You were a child. I don't know if some people do have them older, but like I was like 24, 25.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
Really?
man.
Yeah, I was young. And it was
That's
like
pretty
I was
young,
a
man.
kid.
I
Like,
was a 28 or something. I think
I
when
still
was-
never even ate my wife's ass yet when I
I
had
was
my
like
son.
32.
That has nothing to do with your
Oh, really?
parental skills.
Oh,
No.
No. It's not a mature thing either. It's just something that you discovered later in life. There's
right.
some very young people out there eating ass.
Really?
Yeah, very young.
I hope my son does it.
How
soon.
young are we talking?
How
I don't
young?
know. Probably. Like,
Would they be willing? Yeah,
Whoa! What the?
just saying. That's why I
This fucking guy thinks he's back home in Libya, eh?
Oh
asked.
my.
All right, that's the most racist thing I've ever done. Continue.
I thought it was the la 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 la.
Well, whoa.
Whoa, bro!
That'd be better for ass eating, is what I mean.
Oh my God! Would you eat out girl? Yo, eat out your
That
girlfriend.
is my way of doing it. Actually.
Is that not so sexy when
It's so
you
good.
see that dance?
Yeah. You're welcome, everybody.
This has been a super long show. Eh?
And I felt like
And you know what? It's worth every.
You still want to do
fucking minute.
feedback though, right?
Yeah, he's
No,
still
it's
gonna-
the end of the show. It's not even worth doing feedback.
Why?
Listen, he's got two of the fucking most talented introspective.
No, but we still want to
comedians.
like respect the format of the show.
No, this is the respect right here. We gave him our heart. You
No.
talked about crying.
Still,
I
though,
talked about fucking ladyboys.
still
I've never
though-
said that in
still,
public.
I know how Pete loves his structure, so.
I don't even believe that you have never said before that you fuck lady boys, because like I think everybody even in my audience knows that Joe would fuck a lady boy. I think
Yeah.
as soon as he brought up Japan, they're going, not Thailand.
I couldn't get away. I was like,
This is
I
the thing
have
that
to
Joe
mention-
doesn't even give you a chance to forget something about him because he's constantly just repeating
Yo,
it every
'cause
time
I
you see him.
Gotta let them know what I
Like
bring.
Joe talk, it reminds me of the same 5 things every time I see
What?
him.
What
He
is
keeps
it?
touching on it. I'm gay.
You're gay.
You're gay.
Oh.
I love my kids. I hate my dad.
I love
my wife
trannies.
doesn't fuck me.
Yeah, and I love trannies.
And
that's
I wanna
that's
fuck-
my act, bro.
And I want to fuck trannies.
Yeah.
That's pretty much those 5
Yeah.
things.
I also really missed seeing Pete Van Dyke. I really.
Aw, I missed you too, buddy.
I'm glad meeting my new friend Van Dungeon over there.
Yeah, man.
And you know what? That is the one thing about comedy is like not seeing the other comics has been.
There are a
Some.
lot. I don't
Some.
like legit on my hands. I can count how many I miss.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess when you're starting out, you don't really notice you're in a class.
Mhm.
You like that you're in a group, like a class.
Mm.
You know, and then once you've been around for a while and you start to notice that there's people that are at a different level than you, then you're like, oh, then you realize who your class is.
It's not even levels. I mean, there's like we were at a party and I was like, there was like 4 people at that party I wanted to talk to, and that's the only people I talked to. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah?
I'm like,
It doesn't
that's-
sound like a
The party that I
Like the
arm
party-
wrestled you.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
party I want to talk to.
No, but I mean, like you. I mean, you
I'm
get
Joe
to,
Vitale.
again.
I'm
According,
party, I'm
listen,
talking
just
to-
if anyone knows
I-
AJ,
I'm gonna
he
talk
doesn't
to
even
him
talk
on
to people.
No, I don't. I
No,
don't.
he literally
But
hates everybody.
No, I don't hate everybody.
But
I just
I've
hate
really-
a lot of people.
I've really boiled it down to this is who I want to spend.
You
my
ever
time
noticed,
with.
like Kevin? You've noticed it, right? The way he talks. I don't know, party talking people. I want a party talking people.
Oh yeah. Have you ever noticed that he thinks he's more elite than the rest of us?
I'm more
You ever-
elite than you. That's
Oh,
for sure.
in what
That
ways?
is for
In
sure.
what ways? In what ways?
Every way.
Oh, because I can't cross my balls. You know why? Because they're still full of cum, bro. Because your balls are drained. Because you get fucked. You're a pretty boy. It's so easy. Oh, it's so
that
hard getting
was something
fucked
that
all the
started
time.
off as a diss can end up being a compliment. How is
No,
this
it just
hurtful?
makes me fucking sick. All right.
Yeah.
You don't even let me smell your dick after you just got fucked. You're like, Joe, I just got fucked. I'm like, I know, I can smell it from here. Can I put it in my mouth? You're like, no, that's gay. I'm like, that's not gay.
That is gay. Though.
No, it's not. It was soft. So he's not gay, and it's in my mouth because I want to taste pussy. So I'm kissing his dick to taste pussy.
That is a
That's
very
not gay.
that is a predicament
Yeah.
because you're doing it because of the pussy.
Have
but
you ever
a
been in the
dick your
desert
mouth.
and not have water, and someone has
I know.
water on their arm and you lick their arm? That's not gay.
But that's not water on their dick.
That's very true, Kevin. You
but
know
if
what?
there was
You-
water on their dick, you would
That's
drink
gay.
it.
It's gay though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
No,
is-
it's not.
you have to admit it when you go to heaven.
funny.
Well, that's a good laugh. We could end there.
Yeah,
right?
that's the end of
Let's
the show
end
there.
on that. Let's end
That's a
big.
good
Hey
one.
guys,
Before
I know,
Joe says anything.
I know we missed. I know we missed feedback this week. But if you'd like to give us some for next week, you can always give it to me.
We're sorry, guys. We're sorry. We talk too much.
Live from the
Shut
Dutch
up.
Hall at gmail.com. Or you can go to Instagram, Twitter, at Dutch Hall on those things, or Live from the Dutch Hall on Facebook. And I'm on LinkedIn and all that shit. You can find me, Dutch Hall.
Fucking
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Of
LinkedIn.
course you're in LinkedIn.
Yeah, guess what? Business people have money. They'll fucking buy comedy tickets.
All right.
They're on LinkedIn.
Not comedy I do.
See, dummy, you made fun of him, and now you got yelled at. There you
Yeah,
go.
and they will like. You think that business people, you know who else? Salesmen would like your jokes the most because
Thank
they're
you.
the most filthy
Thank you.
degenerates in the world.
I also speak the truths. Thank you.
You do.
The dark underbelly of the truth.
Dark underbelly.
Literally under the belly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your belly.
oh,
my belly?
Oh,
You wish you
dick
could be in my belly.
jokes
All right. LinkedIn. Check him on
Hey,
LinkedIn.
check me out on LinkedIn.
and Quora.
What the hell's
Quora.
What's Quora?
It's a website.
I don't even know. It's one of those other things too.
I think it's like a question and answer. kind of-
Snapchat.
Are you on Snapchat?
Nobody
bro?
does. Nobody
I
does
am, but
Snapchat
I
anymore.
don't.
Yo, is your wife on Snapchat?
Oh my God.
I don't understand even what that means.
But yeah, you
And then I imagine there's people that show themselves naked on Snapchat.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah.
Disappears.
Is it fans only or only fans?
OnlyFans. Do you have an
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans? The Dutch Hall OnlyFans page?
I thought it was like
Whoa.
a Patreon thing.
Definitely,
it is
it's
like a
definitely
Patreon
not.
thing.
It's definitely not.
Yeah, you pay to get content.
Yeah,
like Patreon.
nudies.
You have to
Nudies.
jerk off though, don't you?
You don't have to.
No, it depends.
What
who,
have I been
it,
doing?
It depends who I'm paying for my.
Yeah, because there are like I know some people who go on certain accounts just to like, what the fuck? I really wanted to see this for myself, but then there are other accounts like, okay, I genuinely want to jerk off this person.
Yeah.
But there are some people like, that person has an OnlyFans account.
And you're like-
I want to see
They're
that.
like, Joe, did you get it yet? I'm like, not yet, but I'll send it to
So
you when I
what
do.
Joe does, he pays for it because he's crazy enough to do it, and then he sends us the pictures. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, Joe, we got to talk after the show. I really am
We all
curious.
do. We all do.
Yeah, by curious.
Oh, gross. I thought it was
Oh, you go to a gay therapist.
what?
That when you cry in front of a gay therapist, that's gay.
No, it's not gay.
So how's it gay if I lick a guy's dick that had pussy on it?
One's a sexual act.
So is crying. I only come when a
You
girl
know what?
cries.
You're not wrong, Joe.
One more layer of the onion right there.
Wait, where's the ending this thing?
We have to let him finish it.
Oh shit! I don't even think I started it.
No.
No, it's
not.
impossible.
It's impossible.
It's
All right.
impossible.
That's our show, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. It's AJ Bait. You're at it at a. It's AJ Bait.
It's AJ Bait on Instagram, AJ Bait on Facebook.
And at the Angry Skeptic.
At the Angry Skeptic, Go Home Joe is my podcast.
Yeah, In Search of Zen podcast.
In Search of Zen and Go Home Joe. Shit, we should have said at the beginning,
okay.
but I'll
It's
put
fine.
it in the links. And Kevin Van Dungeon, thank you for being the narc journalist tonight. Until next week, we will see you, NT. See you next Thursday. Oh, yeah, hit it, Kev.
Wow.